That was good what he said though. Recording wasn't.
I don't know because they're gonna be coming in and stuff.
You're sure?
Unless you wanna announce that it wasn't recorded.
Yeah, I heard. Okay, I'm gonna make an announcement to everybody. The first part of our meeting was not recorded, so apologize for that, so. But don't blame me, I don't have nothing to do with that at all. I'm not up on that stuff.
But the only thing was the prayer, the pledge, the opening, and then it went into executive session.
But everyone saw it.
Yeah,
Well, that's fine.
we'll get you the
Sorry.
next time, tell them.
Oh, no worries.
That's
Hey, hey.
It's
You asked
safety
my wife,
questions
I'm
later.
full story.
Okay, all right, this is no public comments, I wanna make sure we get that. before we move on. Okay, No.
Executive session, no, I didn't.
Yes.
not yet.
Might get back.
Oh, when we get to it, we will. It's on here.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, we have the sheriff's report there, monthly report. We get through some of that. And then we'll leave it.
I'll leave that.
Okay, then we have the assessor's update. Jill, the numbers is not very big on that.
People are not buying the dog tags for one thing. We're down really low.
They are there. You know what I think somebody? Rick, you may want to listen to this. I've heard comments, people don't have to take care of their cats, pay on their cats, why should I do with my dog? 6 of one, half a dozen the other, I'm just saying.
I understand that argument, but I don't know the history of.
I don't
why
either.
decide to put tags on dogs and not on cats.
I'd like to see a law come up in legislation where if you have an animal, you take care of it. I'm getting sick and tired of going out to my car and out to my building and other places and smelling like stinking, I'm sick of that.
Well, I think there are some laws out there with regards to animal cruelty and stuff like that,
There ought to be a law against human cruelty, you have to smell it. Bad. So anyway, all right, just throw that out there. Dog warden's report, she picked up 8 dogs, 14 cats, 2 dogs carry over. She had 99 complaints. She has sold or given away 6 dogs, 14 cats. And, I don't see rabies exposure was 9. And rabies specimen sent for testing was 1. 181 rabies shots, so she's been kind of active. All right. Mineral County Emergency Services report. Kaiser EMS total calls was 19, transported 8. Grizzly had none. It's reported on here. Burlington's 2 total calls, 1 transport, Fountain was 2, Wally Ford was 1, 2 and 1. Fort Asher was 10 and 3, Short Gap is 14 and 5. New Creek 7 and 3.
73?
7 and 3. 7 calls for 3 transported. And Elk District was 1 and 1. And VMT was 6 and 0. Tri-Towns was 2 and 1. So they've been kind of active. Okay. Okay. So where's the Galeville at here? That's what I'm seeing. You don't have it yet?
No, it's just a debit, no.
Debit from the, from an individual for $3,013.92. So. And then, hold on, a minute, let me get cars. Allegheny Ballistics. Remove fire and speed distance. Is that for the?
Well, it's just a notice.
Notice of the class one permit?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So go down. Okay, so we're going to court regarding the Public Service Commission.
You've been receiving the emails, I've been forwarding the emails as they come.
It's
But
not hard to miss.
no. But these are 3 correspondents that actually came in letter paper form. So I made copies of those, and so they're pretty lengthy as well, and there's 3 different documents in here. That's pertaining to the model, yeah, however.
Okay.
If I could,
Yes.
because I don't know if I'll be to the next meeting, we're coming up on that public hearing on June. June 4th locally, 5:30, and I moved it over to the auditorium of the state, so
What time is it?
5:30.
5:30?
Church McKee.
Correct.
Correct.
I'll be out of town that day. No, but I think it's important for the community, just know, A, the date, and B, it moved. Yeah.
Yes.
Good. What was the date again? June 4th. Thank you. There's one the following day, over in Hampshire,
What time was that? 5:30?
5:30, correct.
All right, let me get through some of this stuff here and then we'll find out where we're at.
Kids about that funny letters.
You could. I thought we was cutting back on spending money, the paper bill's gonna be enormous. All right. Cummings Valley Transit Authority, they'd like to, reinstate jury rights on board. That. And we got the auditors.
So the auditor is just reminding us what our deadlines are for the final budget revisions for this current fiscal year, as well as the dates for the financial statement publication requirements.
Okay.
And I have not met last year's yet, as I still do not have my financial.
Okay, and then we got advanced alarm technology,
They just provided correspondence, interested in future work,
okay, that's all that says.
just letting us know that they're interested.
Reading over to you. All right. We have Barney Hillebrand requesting funds for the beach festival. So,
So that's that.
Leah, I'm gonna ask her to make a comment.
Everything's going up.
Everything's on the paper.
You want 7,000?
Pardon?
You want 7,000?
When do you need that by?
All the bills are due after the festival, so we could use that.
So it would be all right if we would wait and see how much carryover we're gonna have,
Yes.
because I don't know what carryover we're gonna have. You're going, she's hopefully here in the next, 4 weeks? You'll
We'll have a better idea.
You'll have a better
Still
idea,
won't-
yeah.
Another question,
Sure, ask where you want.
for security, do we pay you ahead of time or is it okay to pay you after the festival? The guys have overtime.
I don't guess that would really matter. I'd have to look into. Or have that time frame. vacations and whatnot, and see what we have available to kind of give you an idea of what it's gonna be.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
Either
have
way
you-
would be
we
fine.
have you at 1,500 in the budget. We have you at 1,500 in the budget. I don't know what the rates are, so this is just making sure that you had something when we did our calculations.
2 days, 3 days, one time, all the time.
Fridays from 11 to 10, Saturday, 10 to 10, Sunday, 11 to 5:30. The main time that we really need somebody would be like from dinner to and closing.
So you could probably get by without anybody during the day, just in the evening.
Right.
Do you ever have issues down there through the days? One ground?
No, the only issue we ever ran into was somebody had a dog that was aggressive and they had to leave. That's the only issue we've run into. We've been blessed, you know, for it's 13 years now, the festival's been going on and we've not had any bad incidents. And the only thing that happened at one festival is a woman's baby had gotten dehydrated. So that EMTs took care of her right away.
Are you planning to have, working with the ambulance service, an ambulance on site?
I'm trying to, we do need somebody on site. And the festival round said the best being there with emergency services, I just assumed that they would be readily available. But they told me if you have a problem, call 911. But I would rather have an ambulance on site for two reasons. Number one, so the youth, the teens can see it, they can ask questions how it's run to help encourage kids to go into that field. And the other thing is to have it there for emergency services. I don't know if they come or we have to pay them to come, I'm not sure about that.
Have you spoken to Cheyenne Cole?
Pardon?
Have you spoken to Cheyenne Cole from Fort Ashby?
I have not.
She would be your point of contact for Fort Ashby. She's the EMS chief. And they do have paid staff from 7 A to 7 P.
Okay, so we would be paying them?
That would be a conversation with Cheyenne.
Uh-huh.
But they are staffed and they're in the fire station from 7 AM to 7 PM,
Right.
7 days a week.
Yeah, cause we would set them up at a location where they could, like, if come in emergency, they could easily leave.
I'll give you your contact.
One good thing about that though, Fort Ashby's just 150 yards away.
Mm-hmm.
That's one good thing about it. They're pretty good. Fort Ashby got a pretty good department.
Yeah, they do.
And you're gonna have Group 5 on site.
And Trooper 5 is gonna be on site from 2 to 5 on Saturday.
We were arranging with Jay Bo to set up that landing zone on that day.
Okay.
This fire department has to set up a landing zone for that aircraft.
So you get,
That the Jay Bo lost.
you'll get back with her.
Write that down too.
So,
Okay, you'll get with her, you'll get with her on the amount to it.
You'll get with her on, you want to know?
but now,
Yeah.
Bill can probably find your Jay Bo, but you might want to talk to Jay Bo directly.
I would talk to him directly. Bill's not easy. He doesn't really want us there, so.
Jay Bo Lawson.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, do you know this one?
I love that garden down there. They, for the back.
Okay. I'm getting prices for insurance, but he said that it'd probably be around $5,000 for a finish. That's one of the reasons we need her. One of the main reasons. And we're in need of buying another trailer. For two reasons, the storage, instead of paying $600 a year. To rent a cooler trailer, we're buying a trailer, having a cooler trailer. And the other thing is we need storage room, so. This cooler trailers for the pies and the peaches to keep them in there. And, and also it'll be for storage for the kid zones. We're getting a lot of kid zone carnival games. And that's being used for the high school students to get community hours. And on top of that, that's part of their fundraising. So there's tickets sold for the games. And for every ticket they get 70% of it. Goes funding to the, school clubs or teams. So we're trying really hard to get the schools involved and learning to do public service and actually learning to do business by doing that too. It's educational for them.
What are the dates? I'm sorry. What are the dates of this festival?
It's August
7, 8, and 9.
7, 8, and 9, second weekend of August.
And is this the second year that it was held in Mineral County or the third year?
This will be our
Third year in Mineral County. So even though it was 13 years, 10 of that was in Hampshire.
Yeah. But it's growing. We had over 13,000 people last
Had
year.
a lot of people there last year.
And then there's probably more coming this year. We're with the radio station, we're doing digital marketing. It's really reaching out. So if somebody is in other festivals, ours will pop up.
It should work.
And we're doing a couple of the radio stations, we're doing spots, and then
Okay.
two of the people that work with the radio station are the salespeople for it, and they both have shows that they're gonna talk about the best on the shows too. We have billboards going up all over, Edgewood, Pennsylvania, there's one, right beside the fairgrounds is one, and the fairgrounds in Cumberland. But we're hitting all outer areas to draw more people in. We get people from Virginia, Pennsylvania, Maryland. And there's been somebody came from North Carolina with an antique car to the car show last year. So we're getting a reputation. It's good, it's good.
I was set up doing mobile office hours right beside a cake pop lady from Pennsylvania, not blood sugar. These cake pops are awesome.
Peaches this year, we have to get them from out of state. West Virginia has no fruits.
No, the frost,
Orchards are done.
it's gonna be bad this year.
It's gonna be horrible. So peaches we get aren't gonna be $40 for a bushel. They'll probably be 60 or 80 a bushel.
Mm.
They're coming from Georgia.
So the peach cider's gonna be cut back.
Pardon?
Peach cider's gonna be cut back.
It's not. Believe it or not, it's not.
I still got a little bit left.
They get all their peaches down in Georgia anyhow, so it's
Okay.
not hurting them. The cider's not made
You
here.
get it off of Moore's Market then?
Pardon?
More, do you get it from Moore's, the Outer Bank, next to the Outer Banks Market? Do you ever order?
No, I get it from who they buy from.
Oh, you get it from whom they buy from.
Yeah, I buy it direct.
I'm getting some strange looks. None of you's ever tried peach cider?
Well, I've tried it. I'm just wondering how you're talking about it with the sheriff sitting
Oh, it's not.
there. I'm talking about that peach cider burns blue when you put it on spoon in there.
People buy it to do that though.
You got a cough going on.
I do.
I can't imagine anybody do that.
Boy, that stuff is
No, I
good.
can't imagine anyone doing that at all.
It's the best cider made.
It is really made with peaches. Now,
Yes.
there's another place that makes, they call it peach cider, but it's apple cider with peach flavoring.
Mm,
But we have for real peach cider.
it is good.
By the way, I've just seen pictures of that stuff.
You can drink a whole half a gallon and still walk straight. I'm telling you, it's not bad for you. All right, anything else, Barbie?
No, that's it. I just know with all our rates going up, it's. The pet rentals went up 1,000, and the porta johns go up a lot more. Trash removal, these are what we've done, we've had to set funds aside for a rainy day. Because if we get rain and the festivals, nobody's coming. We still pay for the tents, we still pay for the cider, the peaches, you know, the porta johns, the trash removal, we still pay the rent for the grounds, so. We have money now set aside, so if it rains, we don't touch it, that stays here. Cause if we get a bad weekend, last year, we would have been bankrupt. We would have had to close and not do a festival anymore, we would have lost everything. So, we're,
Okay, we'll get back with you when we're, it's the area report. Okay, Charlie Best, I would offer my services as a member of the Mineral County Historic Landmark Commission. Thank you for what you do. What, have you come up with anything whenever we appoint you?
Yes.
What do you?
I've sent it to you all to review.
Yeah.
These are not paid positions for the Historical Landmarks Commission.
Right,
This is one of those boards that they're just pure volunteers.
Yeah.
Pure members just interested in protecting the history of Mineral County. We had Doug Wolf's request, the last meeting, and then, Charlie Bass, and, there's a couple others, because the board had been completely more or less wiped clean and trying to rebuild the board.
well,
And-
did you have mine?
For the
Solid waste.
landmarks, oh, I thought you meant for the landmarks?
No, no. No,
Yeah, that was on the last meeting too.
Yeah, that was on the last
Yeah.
meeting. So are we just dealing with Charlie's, or are you going to go through all of them? It's not paid positions.
I don't know, I just let you know on that one, because. I just
I didn't
try-
get a chance to read
They're
that.
trying to reestablish a board so they can start having meetings and
Yeah.
start doing things. So,
Well, that's good.
The only thing I see about this policy, I really wanted it geared towards the paid positions like PSD, which that's the only one that we do. Really wanted this geared towards the paid positions. And this kind of covers all of them. As far as on second here, application materials. Applicants should be required to submit at minimum a current resume and a statement of interest. I think that by a current resume only for PSD boards.
Paid position.
Paid, yeah, we'll do, only for paid position.
Okay.
What point is that, okay, what point is it in? It's section 5.
and we'll have to go through and clarify with the boards who does get compensated and who doesn't. Because some of the, not just, I think it's, not just PSD, I think some of the other boards get compensated.
I'll need to know that, I don't know that.
Yeah, we'll have to go through that. And then maybe we can list in that directing what boards that the policy actually applies to.
That's fine, that's why I want to
all.
talk about it, because I don't know
Yeah.
those things.
Well, I don't know right now either, so I was saying, we're
Seriously,
gonna have
these
to.
other boards that are unpaid, that's, if you all have wanted to cover those,
I don't
policy to cover those.
They're still important positions,
Yeah.
though,
So the way this is wrote up, it's wrote up really well, because it covers everything. The only thing I think the resume and an interview process would be for paid positions.
So we can just specify that.
And then, yeah, and it has in here that there's a section 10 is exceptions. And that we can waive any of that requirement if we want to, if it's a reappointment of incumbents with satisfactory performance, urgent or time sensitive appointments, and statutory externally mandated appointments. So we can make exceptions the way this policy wrote up. But on the other side of it, I really, that for the resume, it should be just for paid positions.
Okay, I can specify that and send it out to you. So review.
Do you guys want to approve that with the changes, or do you want to wait until we see the change?
I am okay approving with changes. The other thing that I wanted to see, it has in here about posting requirements. And so section 4.3, posting shall be published through Mineral County Courthouse Facebook page. I would also like to add in there that first meeting in May, that they would be read, the terms that expire June 30th could be read. Can we do that?
So the first meeting in May, basically every year.
Yes.
And what about the ones that are due to be in January?
Well, the only ones in January are the ballot commissioners. That's set by code just because of the election cycle,
Okay,
because of the requirements they had by February, the new ballot commissioner coming in. Those are the only ones that end in January that
okay.
I can think
December
of.
31st.
Yeah, so, yeah, and that's, and those are appointed by the executive committees, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, they're not appointed, but they go for us.
They got, yeah, the executive members appoint and then you guys approve,
Yes.
because they're representing their party.
Yeah.
But I mean, they have the policy that applies to paid position, but then I don't wanna say, but a dumbed down version, a very short version, maybe for the other ones though too, that there's still an application or a kind of like an interview process. So that if somebody does some, and you know, if you just had a random, you know, maybe this individual or the other, but you may get somebody you don't really know,
Yeah.
that you still want them to
And I
come
think this will
forward.
cover that. I think this is general enough that this would cover that.
Well, I mean, this covers the paid positions, but to cover.
But it can also cover the non-paid, it can cover all of it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, that's the way I'm reading it, I think it would be,
That's the way I.
Okay,
it'll cover all of it, the only one in the resume required is for the paid position.
okay. I had this, did you send it to me too?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
you did?
the
Okay.
application process. There, I don't believe we have any kind of application
We don't
that
know.
we've used. Do you wanna
They just
create
just
one?
letter,
They sent us.
They just send a letter.
that's all.
Okay, so just a letter.
Yeah.
So the letter would be for unpaid. We would start with that.
And the letter should contain their name, their legal name. You won't be surprised how many times I get people called by something else, I'm like, I can't find them. Their legal name, their address, email and phone number.
We can add that to the
Yes.
policy.
Yeah, they're under section 5.1, where you have a statement of interest, a statement of interest to include their legal name, address, whatever else you said,
Email and phone number.
email them.
Okay. So you don't want an application created? You don't wanna keep it the way it is? Right.
So. I make a motion, we approve this with the changes.
Okay, I have the changes.
I'll second that motion and I approve that also.
Okay. Now, we're going to get down here now to, Mr. Best, are we going to,
I think we're kind of out of order.
I know we were,
Well, that's what.
But that needed to be-
This new policy, well, there is exception.
so you got board and appointments in the Historical Landmark Commission for the Troy Best, so we're going to.
Well, and Doug Wolf was last time too, those were,
Yeah, he also.
For non-paid.
yeah, the Historical Landmarks Commission.
They've been three in non-paid positions.
For well, I'm talking about the Historical Landmarks Commission, you have Charlie Best and you have, Doug Wolf. Now, those terms, either the members are no longer able, or some of them had even passed away. So the Historical Landmarks Commission, they're trying to establish their new board so they can start having meetings and start getting established.
Do they have a previous bylaws or anything?
They presented them when they came to do their budget request.
Right,
You had, not every, Betty DeZuba, Jim Cheney,
Frank.
I know, I'm thinking who was here that day.
Oh, I don't remember who was here.
Yeah, but they presented, what they were trying to get reestablished, and I believe they got the bylaws that day.
That's right. Yeah,
That was Camp Minko.
can't mean, that's right.
That was Camp.
Okay. So let's go down to the board and appointments, and are you guys in favor of appointing the ones that's not getting paid?
I'll make a motion, we approve, Doug Wolf and Dr. Best for the Historic Landmarks Commission.
second that.
And I approve that also. Now, I'm gonna ask you this, because I got an email the other day. Region 8's not appointed, paid. Are you going to approve that, or she have to wait?
One question on that though, because is that a mandatory term, or does that Like with the county commissions, your terms are usually like a year.
No, not with that, with that board, it's, yeah, I reckon it would be for a year.
But no, isn't it like a 6-year term?
Well, it would be, but if you remember, I don't know exactly how that's gonna work, because we picked towards the beginning of the year what board we want on. But the thing of it is with the Region 8 solid waste, they can interview.
Yeah.
They got openings and half the people you get volunteers, that's a volunteer.
Yeah,
That truck just pulled up on the sidewalk.
Sheriff, what we should-
I thought that hit the building. I thought you hit the corner of the building.
Is that close?
Yeah.
That's it.
I didn't know. But anyway,
Pretty close.
I think she told me, I'm not sure how long she told.
Well, that's the thing though, I mean, with the term, because you're gonna be going out December
I'll
31st,
be
that can
staying
take,
on.
let's say you'd be staying on
As
board
a-
until your
as a-
term.
As a citizen, not as a commissioner after January.
So then the one commissioner.
You get one of those, because she can't, you can't get the back. I have the people to get them, so.
So this would be for, what you want to be in the end of the year, or the end of next year, then one of those commissioners will also be put on too.
Oh, sure.
And you would stay on it.
Yeah, yeah, she had to stay on for that. She said 3 years is what she is. It's up to you guys.
I make a motion that we approve Roger Levin as the Region 8 board.
I'll second that.
So there's only a few
This
boards that
season
that
is-
apply to.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only a few boards that that applies to, that it's not just, every year a commissioner, some of them are actually set, locked in terms. So,
They've been, other commissioners done that before. They filed office and they asked them to stay on because you can't get them.
and then the other one you had today was the Potomac Valley Transit, Gary Rice, is
Gary
that
Rice.
he?
I don't know.
See, that one I don't know, I was thinking they. What was letter?
Yeah, I think you put in there something about $50.
But you don't, I thought, I saw something, and that's why he's a paid position. Yes, the state code calls for board members to be paid at the $50 per meeting,
Yeah.
so that's a paid position.
So we will need an application, or not an application, but a resume, unless he's already turned one in, and then an interview.
Letters of intent.
So the
We'll
interview
just have
process,
them, and they should come to a commission meeting for that. This should be part of a commission meeting.
so should I establish the interview process in this policy?
No, we have the option under section 10 to waive that.
But I guess do we need to discuss or?
Because that is a reappointment. That is a reappointment for Gary.
Yes, yeah, that's a really good.
The reappointment. Guess make the motion that we reappoint Gary.
Well, you want him, I mean, because you just established
Oh,
a
yeah.
policy that he submit a letter of intent.
Yeah.
Because we have
We
their
have
letter
their-
requesting,
We don't have his letter, do we?
yeah, we need a letter of intent from him.
Okay.
And then maybe he can even come to the next commission meeting with his letter of intent even.
That'd be great. And are we, did anybody else that we held off?
I think that's the only ones.
The only other one you know, Fountain.
Fountain, yes, Fountain.
And if you're gonna talk about that, I'm gonna leave.
But that's this whole policy
That's a-
process here.
And he did submit his resume and everything, so.
I believe that's at the last meeting or the meeting before.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was,
And that is a reappointment as well.
yeah.
You guys want to discuss it? Roger, you and I discuss that now, or
Well, yeah, yeah.
you want to go ahead and leave? Yeah. How long, Lauren, do you know how long you've been on that?
About a year.
One term.
1 year.
Yeah, I don't- it hasn't been a whole lot. It's probably been a year.
Yeah, that's
Close
what I
to
was
it.
thinking, close a year, probably last July, he went on July 1. That's when it starts, I think.
And
But
then,
he was, Dutch had resigned,
Yes.
and then he submitted a letter of intent, and then he was appointed. Time kind of gets away from me, as it's fairly close here. But he submitted, the Fountain PSD had submitted a letter requesting that he be appointed. Mr. Staggs had sent in a letter request to be reappointed along with his resume. And those, I don't recall if it was the last meeting or the meeting before that was provided to you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had a chance to review that.
Well, and also Wayne's called me, or texted me several times, and I was, he says he does a good job.
Yeah, because they sent the first request back in January, the term didn't expire until today,
So,
but it was, actually, I think it was either December or January that they sent the letter request.
Wayne's wants to get it approved.
Yeah.
He says he does a good job with it.
And the term expires
June
June
30th.
thirtieth.
June 30th.
But if you're okay,
I'm good with it.
I make a motion that we reappoint, Mr. Staggs back
Is
to
it Keith?
Keith.
Kevin?
Keith, I believe.
Keith Staggs back to the Fountain PSD.
Yeah, I'm good with that also.
And who's the other gentleman? What was his name that we're appointing with the $50?
Gary Rice.
Gary.
He put it out there, I got it, okay.
So Roger, you second that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Because they don't have any others.
We're gonna have Gary submit a letter of intent, because Mr. Staggs had submitted his resume and letter of intent, but we need that from Mr. Rice. So I'll get with Gary get him scheduled for the next meeting. So these are real papers.
Okay. You got it? Good. Okay. Update on the courthouse improvement project.
This one makes me crazy. Because, so, it's been submitted for the historical review. Because the contacts and information of the previous administrator, they have to get the access to upload additional documents, because you have to, ensure that you're not gonna take away from the historical aspect and the optics of, the history of the courthouse, the courtroom. So I'm working on that. The other thing that we ran into, and I've been working with the state on this, is the Supreme Court, is where are we gonna hold these hearings, or where are we gonna hold these, mainly the hearings. So the room across from Krista Dixon's office, I guess that's the old circuit clerk's office. We're looking at that for hearings, but if there's a jury, then we're gonna run into an issue. We're not gonna have the space. I've talked to them back and forth about them using hearing rooms in magistrate and all that, but they have their own dockets and things, so we can't really tap into that location or those rooms. I did request an extension for this grant to go through April of next year. I haven't gotten approval for that. But the money has to be spent by the end of this year, so we can get reimbursed. So I'm running into some things. And I think that everyone was pretty much aware that we would run into this because of having court. We still have to continue. And I don't know that we can send them to Hampshire County and have these court hearings there. I don't think that's an option. I don't know. But it's not been one that's brought up to me. So I'm struggling with this one because it's a big overtaking. I mean, it's literally removing and flipping this courtroom from, the jury's here and they're going over here. So it's a lot. It's a lot happening. So as far as a project of this size and with the amount of traffic in and out of that courtroom, the issue is how do you find a contractor or contractors to work a little bit, work a little bit? That's gonna be difficult. To me it is, to have someone to vote and kind of be at our beck and call to say, come back, we're out of court.
When are they working?
That's the thing, is I don't know when to start because I haven't gotten full approvals yet.
Let me ask you a question. Can you have a court hearing outside of that court?
Yes,
We have the room. It's not quite ready yet, but it will be a big room that we can use that building to help with.
okay,
And we approved Monday, to give a lot of money to buy chairs for upgrade. Now, it might not be your judge's desk, but we can get something set there. And I'm sure we could probably use that. Now and I know this is next on the health department, but the facility,
so the annex, the new
annex building at the health department, now that building is due to, if it's not done by the end of this month, somebody's gonna be working free.
Okay,
Because, they've been told that it's got to be done by the end of the month.
so the important piece is having the, IT part of it, so
I don't
Supreme
know if
Court,
that'll be in there.
well, no, they would come and set it up. So the Supreme Court would have to set that up.
Okay,
Um,
what I'd like to do is maybe get AJ.
That's one day.
Maybe we can get AJ to come down, cause he's up on this way more than anybody else is.
mhm.
And then the sheriff will have to go out and look about the security issues of it.
Yeah. Oh, we're good with security, it's got locked doors.
Yeah, another round.
I recall,
I asked them.
Okay, no.
I offered up local, like, options, but I don't know if anything outside of like a county building.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's, cause it wasn't, I didn't get a response to that, I only got responses to things within.
But I'm
That
sure,
would be good since it's already a county owned business.
yeah, I'm sure AJ wouldn't mind at all, but we need to get him on.
Well, I'll send that today.
And, cause you're gonna have ample room, you got more than what you got in Portland. But, yeah, there's good parking out there, and, it'll be done by the end of the month.
Jury there as well.
Could we get AJ to come in next meeting and kind of, what do you think? Discuss this with him.
It's an evening meeting, so fine.
Yeah, yeah.
As long as there's no sporting events.
Well, and you got a point there with his daughter.
We'll check with you.
Yeah, check with him.
I would say if not at the next meeting, the first meeting in June possibly.
Yeah. Okay.
Cause there's a lot going on. It's the day after Memorial Day, so a lot of people have Memorial Day weekends, that's more still one, graduation.
But they're starting,
And the health person.
It would be so much better to have it completely out there and just let the contractor just
when you do it.
pack it, and it just drags it out in the line.
I thought I remember a conversation about possibly moving our courts to Grant County.
That's what actually, I said Hampshire doesn't have a grant. But is there like cost involved in that? Because you're sending jurors from Mineral
Yeah.
County to Grant. So what's I don't know that process.
If we could use that, would be,
That'd be Supreme Court's
be the best.
Yeah.
ballpark.
Not only that, but once the project is designated a certain time frame, the courts can move their schedule around. If they have to postpone hearings or something for that window, then that would cut down on those expenses too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's an option some of these cases drag out so long anyway, for some of the silliest reasons. That's a very good reason to have to reschedule.
But that would be an excellent building for a while. Everybody's on board with that.
I am.
Okay.
If the court approves it.
I'll send it to my contact at the Supreme Court.
And then the update on the Blue House too.
It's gone. and-
I just, for minute sakes, for commission minute sakes.
It's gone and, we have the parking lot, so we probably should talk a little bit about that.
So I got, the sheriff and one of his deputies give me some aerial pictures. And I got a guy working on doing a layout, I need to go get some more measurements, but, we'll try to get a layout, the most efficient layout that we can have where cars, so told him, didn't want tight spots, wanted to be able to fit in there easily. Because sometimes you have big trucks and then, and then but make it the most efficient that we can, so.
And this is
I do have a guy
specifically
working
going
on
to
it.
be an employee parking lot.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then the gas company will have to put up the barriers
and they're aware, but
and
So,
that one electrical pole.
the question of the day and the question of the year is, can we park there now? So I have employees reaching out, can we park there? Well, I guess it would be kind of one of those things, okay, sure, temporarily. The magnet's been, I think, ran over the parking lot, I've heard anywhere from like 2 to 3 times now, I know it more than once. The problem with it is, I think there's aluminum nails. Someone made that comment because we had a person bring a collection of nails. Can't guarantee that those are, not still in there because magnets only gonna pick up so many things. So I guess it's one of those at your own risk, I hate to put it that way, but It's, I mean, I see people parking in there now, they're pulling in there. But don't really know what next steps could be. I mean, are we gonna gravel it more? We're gonna pave it? Like, what do we, I think there's a lot of options here with it.
I don't know, right now, I'm not favoring paving, because I don't think we can afford that. We're gonna have every little time.
The one thing we do need to discuss is the Charlie Smith, how we're gonna honor
Yeah.
him. What kind of sign do we wanna do? What do we wanna do with? We wanna put something on the side of the building, or do we wanna have a stand?
Well, his phone's going, I think we need to make a sign, and put it down at the end of the park.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking.
That faces like what, Armstrong? Like
Yeah,
a sign that
people
faces
from Armstrong
Armstrong?
Armstrong Street. Yeah, people going by, see it.
put one in each corner, something at each corner, so it doesn't pick up the
Yeah.
whole.
And I don't see where it'd be an issue, people parking in there now. I think we need to keep them off where the house was, because I'm still concerned that may be a little soft and settle somewhere.
I think so. I think that's a lot of, that's another.
If
So there's
if they
cones
stay
there.
towards, Armstrong Street, I think.
Okay, I can put an email out that says that, a park closer to.
Park at your own risk,
Yeah, I mean, it will
Park
be,
at your own risk, yeah.
for $100,000 in fixing flats.
cause, yeah, park at own risk and then,
So if
I'll work
if somebody
on the
does get a
sign.
flat tire, you're not, is the county responsible for that?
No,
How do you prove that it's there?
I'm putting, it's a park at your own risk. I mean, I'll
Yeah.
put that in writing in an email,
Yeah.
so it's not. I mean,
We could get a sign put up.
Do we need to work with the city then on the entrance and exit?
Yeah, so I talked to, actually talked to Damon Tillman a little bit about that. And we had several discussions, and actually I was talking to him about the parking meters, if it would be possible to remove those parking meters on that street in front of the magistrate. Just to make it more accessible for citizens and that kind of thing. He seemed to be okay with it, but I mean, he's got to go through his meetings and everything, but that would be, then people don't have to worry about paying the park there. But,
Well, part of having you park your, the rotates instead of people just parking and leaving their car.
yes, yeah,
Walking, and going somewhere else. So it keeps those spaces available for the business people moving instead of just sitting there all day.
mhm.
Yes.
so that's the purpose, that's what the meters do, you think? They
Yeah,
keep
it
them
keeps the
from-
rotation, because people are like, oh, I gotta give them a card, go feed the meter, so they just give them the car.
There is no exit on the Armstrong Street.
Not from our
It's
shop,
just,
And I don't
the
think
alley
it-
into the,
it's just, that's what I'm saying, the alley and the street.
I don't think there would be a exit on Armstrong Street.
I don't think we need to,
I doubt the state would let us do that.
probably not.
and then there's also concerns about the handicap parking area. Cause it would have been ideal to have them up closer to the building, but now that it's gravel, it can't be used as a handicap area. And then on the other side, where the handicap is gonna be, that blacktop's like this. And it's not very safe, so we definitely need to clarify some handicap parking area.
Yeah, cause you're required, to have so many,
Per entrance,
Mhm.
2 per entrance.
or two per, I think at least two, yes.
2 for 1.
So that is, they're designate the space over by the courthouse, but then you have all the people coming into annex, and they have to park over there, get through all that blacktop, get over through up, and then by the time they get to the door, they're exhausted.
Well, if we talk to the city and make some of those right in front of the magistrate handicap,
Yeah.
make those are permanent handicap.
Because that's even closer to the courthouse door than the spots they were gonna
Yeah.
use. So,
Okay,
well, you should have at least one.
do you want me to continue talking to the city about eliminating those parking meters or making some of those
I guess
handicap?
they could take away from. And revenue for the city too.
Amount of revenue that they get out of that, that's what we can talk about.
Most of them are broke anyway.
Yeah, I asked him about, what kind of revenue do you get on parking meters, he said, not really that much, but he said the same thing, it was kind of, cause he talked about taking them all down on Main Street, but he said that then you get people that work there, they end up parking and they end up taking up spaces all day long. And that would be, we could put,
I'll let you know.
I don't know that a sign would help, but you could put up, 30-minute
I was thinking that,
maximum,
yeah.
That kind of thing. But do you guys want me to pursue with the city or not?
There's, two spaces on each side of the island. That actually does away with 1 meter. Because the other side, there's no meter on the other side of the island. But if you did 2 spaces on this side of the island, 2 spaces on this side of the island, of course, one of those spaces would have to be van access. Probably the one on the northern side of the island. If the van access, then you're only doing away with 1 meter.
Okay, for, go across the courthouse. Yeah.
And it's one more house.
I like that.
Okay. The van access would keep that first one. Right. North.
Yeah. Good, you don't need to make a motion or anything.
No, I don't think so. I'll just go talk to them about it and see. I'll go to a city meeting and talk.
Yeah, that was last time.
That was last night.
Okay, what about this pay app? For the,
Health department,
health department, for,
$457,762.37. I'll make a motion, we approve the pay app for that amount
And authorize president to sign.
and authorize the president to sign.
I second that.
And then, so you say that the project is looking at the end of the month, then?
It's pretty much looking at the end of the month, and even if they was told, there was a couple people was kind of told, if you don't do it, then thank you for your free work. Because they've been told that for some reason they're dragging the feet, but it's coming together. So that's a good thing. Okay, opioid funding.
All right, so we do, the other day, we approved an application, starting up another round. I believe we'll take applications till the end of the month. And I seen, is Mayor Piedmont still on there? Still on Zoom? I got her email the other day and I haven't replied to her, but I'll get that to you if you're still on there.
Hi, Dutch. Yeah, I'm still here. Thank you very much.
Okay. I'll get you that application. There's a couple other people that's reached out too, so, and I'll send that to Candace so that the applications will be available here. If anybody wants to come get one, or you can contact me or,
I'll make a note and they can pick it up from Tammy.
okay.
Okay, is that it?
Oh, TPM sent in their, report and they're entitled to another $10,000, be the second half. This will be the second round, the second half of their second round that they got. So I'll make a motion that we approve $10,000 to TPM Foundation.
I second that.
Okay.
It was already approved.
It's already allocated, they just had some things for it.
Yeah. And that's all that I have.
So, okay, update on the dog warden.
Morgan started on the 4th. And Melanie's last day was the 3rd. They're already training and
Okay.
Come off the agenda then. And I apologize for some of the things on the agenda since I wasn't present at the last meeting, so some of it, there may not be a discussion.
Update on prosecuting attorney's office carpet.
as far as I know, the carpeting is finished. It looks great. I could lobby that, but it looks really nice. Looks like a brand new office, actually. I won't go that far, but it looks really good. We did run into a situation, which I had no idea about. We did have some, flooring that needed removed. They did have to run a machine, so they quoted us, I forget what the final quote was, but it will be adding an additional 500. I had to make a quick decision, because basically if we would have held it up, it would have sat there. And they couldn't move their desks and things back, because it was a large portion of the floor. So they could not just remove it, they had to get a machine from Boggs, I believe, and take that up, and it is $500. They did not add additional labor, we basically paid for the rental. But it does, if you get a chance to go up there and look, it looks really nice. They actually picked the carpeting. It's not this carpeting, we went with a little more inexpensive. It's the one, just like a roll of carpeting, because of the type of flooring, and it's not real super level, but it does cover it, and it looks a lot better, so.
It does look nice. They
It
now
looks
painted,
cleaner.
they painted all the offices.
The ceiling tiles, are they all done?
Yep.
Ceiling tiles are all done.
Replaced. So you can take them off the agenda.
They're happy. Yeah,
They called us to let us know they really liked it. First up, my fear was that they didn't like the carpeting, but they called and said that they really liked it and they were happy. It looks much better. And less trip hazard, so it looks good.
Okay, discuss and approve modified policy of public comments.
Okay. Candace sent that to us.
Yeah.
It's not real long. I'd like to just run through it for everybody's benefit.
Sure, I can do that or you can do that.
So basically, I'll do it real quick. I have it up here.
Okay,
It's just a commission meeting, public discussion policy. This policy applies to all members of the public who wish to speak at a meeting of the Mineral County Commission. Eligibility to speak, all members of the public who wish to speak at a meeting of the Mineral County Commission must sign up with the clerk of the commission no later than 10 minutes before the start of the meeting. And that would be just through the sign up on at the sheet at the door. Members of the public may also contact the clerk of the commission at least 3 business days prior to the meeting to request an appointment and be placed on the meeting agenda. Speakers who sign up before the meeting to provide general comments but are not listed on the agenda will be allotted 3 minutes. Speakers who schedule an appointment at least 3 business days in advance and are listed on the agenda will be allotted 5 minutes. During budget preparation, individuals requesting funds from the commission may be allotted up to 15 minutes to present. And section 4, the commission may grant additional time at its discretion. Section C, virtual attendees. Individuals who wish to attend meeting of the Mineral County Commission virtually may do so via Zoom at the following link. That link's listed. Public comment without a scheduled appointment is limited to individuals attending in person. Individuals who wish to speak or present virtually must schedule an appointment at least 3 business days in advance and be listed on the meeting agenda. Such speakers will be allotted 5 minutes. Cameras must be turned on during the scheduled appointment time. During budget preparation, individuals requesting funds from the commission may be allotted up to 15 minutes to present, and the commission may grant additional time at its discretion. Section D, decorum. The commission welcomes the opportunity to hear opinions and information from constituents. However, speakers are expected to remain respectful throughout their presentation. Threats, hostility, and profane language will not be tolerated. Speakers who fail to maintain appropriate decorum may be asked to leave before their allotted time has expired. Disclaimer, this policy is not all-inclusive. The commission reserves the right to modify or waive this policy at its sole discretion and shall serve as the final authority in any circumstances not addressed herein. That's basically the policy. And you have any discussion?
Well, I got a question about, must sign up the clerk of the commission no later than 10 minutes prior to the start of the meeting. What if somebody, in all honesty, would get behind something? Parking is not the best here and they're don't get here till 5 minutes before the meeting or right. You know, I don't know. As long as you're here by the start of the meeting, I think.
Okay.
That's my opinion. I don't want to knock anybody out if they have something to say. I don't want to do that to them.
So what do you want it to say?
I would like by the start of the meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I agree, I get it, people coming in a half hour late.
And sometimes I get people text me that they wish to speak. So, I mean, the fact that they're not here yet, that they text me, is that sufficient? Is that?
That's
that meets
here.
the
So
requirement?
do you want it to say prior to the start of the meeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
The other thing is, on the Zoom, it said must have camera on, but what if they don't have, I mean, what if they don't have that ability?
I think they need to
Then they can
set
come in
that
here.
up.
They can come in here. Yeah, I would like to know who's talking to it.
And I'm just, this may not be my place, and I'm not trying to be rude. But what we've been through this year with these meetings, I prefer that if they have something and they're that passionate about it, they can come in here and do it.
Only the thing about some of our appointments, even like our state hearings and different things like that, that don't have that ability, but they made an appointment. I mean, and I'm thinking about the estate hearings, because we do have a lot of, have those people coming, they don't have the ability with the camera. But they have an interest in the estate, they have the right to the hearing.
I think for that last line, the policy is not all inclusive, we can make a decision at that.
Yeah, we can,
I think my reference is mainly to the public comments.
Yeah.
But things like that, absolutely. I mean, if they're presenting for the state and let's say that we know that Wi-Fi may not be the best and they're trying to talk and have the camera on and they're like, I gotta turn the camera off to be able to do it. I think that's reasonable. I mean, I just mean like the comments that were made hiding behind that, I didn't appreciate that. And I don't think it was disrespectful to pretty much the commission, so don't appreciate that.
yeah, I agree, and if we have a disclaimer that we can modify or waive the policy at our discretion, so.
Okay, those are definitely just one thing.
I think we need to strongly encourage people to have a camera if they want to do the thing.
It does cover it down there that we can, you know, base, if they're distracted. Good point though, Lauren, that happens sometimes.
It does.
So I'll make a motion to approve this policy with the correction of taking out the 10 minutes and adding in, before the meeting,
Mhm.
or before the start of the meeting.
Yeah, prior to the start, we'll put that.
So, yeah, so that's my motion. Approve it with the corrections.
I second that, and I agree with that also.
Okay, now, I know we've pretty well taken care of the rest of discuss
We already made a motion.
approval for that, yes, of the, boards and appointments, we've already taken care of that, right? You don't have anything to say to that? Update on the moral line. Project.
Like I said, the emails will keep coming, I keep forwarding the emails and then the hard copies, and I will continue to forward those, and then, of course, Rick mentioned the, public hearing on the 4th at 5:30 at Church Meeting.
Okay. Discussion approved proclamation for the men's health.
Yeah, this has been carried over since March. When it first sent it, of course, it's for June 15th to the 21st. We were requested by the, National Men's Health Network was asking for a Men's Health, Month proclamation, to proclaim June 15th to the 21st, 2026 as Men's Health Week. I don't know if you want to read it or not, but I almost didn't have this done again, but Marcia helped. She typed it up and I tweaked it, so.
I don't think we ready to do. Us,
If anybody wants to read that.
anybody wanna read it? You wanna read it, you got it.
I'm good, we can approve it.
Yeah, I've read over it.
I make a motion that we approve the proclamation for Men's Health Month.
Proclaiming June the 15th is your 21st as Men's Health Week.
Yeah. Thank you all.
I'll second
I agree, that's it.
it. Okay,
Oh, Roger Simple.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. Bulbs environmental for mold removal.
And this was, I wasn't here last meeting, I'm not sure what.
We talked about it, it's rather expensive, I think it's over $20,000. So what we talked about, and kind of what I talked about with the team, is we will be talking about our maintenance hire, here shortly. So the goal is to see what, we can get done in-house. And then the things that we're just not able to do, we may not have the type of cleaning products or the equipment. We have went back to Boggs and asked for, we don't wanna call it the bare minimum, cause it's important that we clean up. But we've asked for what can they provide, specifically maybe that we couldn't, that someone in-house couldn't do. So we're waiting for that quote. But we're gonna look at this with our maintenance team once we get the new hire in, and see what can be taken care of. Cause if, like we talked about it, it's replacement of tile, and things like that, we can do that. We don't need to pay someone an excessive amount of money to do that. So there's several different things to look at. fortunate thing, it wasn't anything that's,
Hazardous.
yeah, it's pretty common types of mold, but they're annoying. So we wanna do the right thing and get that cleaned up. We just wanna see what we can do here. And apologize, of course, to that team over there that it's taken this long, but then some of these things tend to get drawn out, especially when you're waiting for quotes. You know, then you have a smaller staff to take care of things. So no real decision to make until we get more information, but again, if we do get a plan together to do some of the things that they've listed, then I'll present that plan.
Okay, so do you want this carried over again?
Yeah, I'll leave it on there. I think we need to keep it in mind so we can get that, get those things taken care of in that work area.
Okay. And that mold, did that come from leaks?
I think some of it from the HVAC system leaking, and it's an older building. But I think that's, and there was cleaning in the past, from my understanding, some HVAC cleaning. But I think the leak persisted and it just got a little worse.
Okay, is that all you got on that? Okay, coverage insurance for the new health department annex.
Yeah, I don't
One
know.
week.
Yes.
So we talked about all the insurance for the new entity.
Make a decision.
Yeah, we'll wait for that, but, I think the goal was us to cover, like the county commission to cover the, utilities, right? And they would keep the insurance because of workers' comp and things like that. Cause I guess the rates can be lower if you have more than one type of policy. So,
So was there discussion where they would actually keep the utilities in their name and then we would just reimburse them with
We
the
did,
quarterly
yeah.
contributions
yes,
and?
we talked
Okay.
about reimbursement. So I think we just then need to confirm how they wanna do it and then I can write it something. So
I told him in my conversation with him prior to the meeting, I had my full intentions of being at the last meeting, it just didn't work out. That, it would be easier if all the utilities was placed in their name. And then if we could just do the reimbursement and, quarterly, monthly, however they would need that.
AJ was supposed to look and see if there was much of a difference in pricing if we just did the employees and we took on the insurance too.
And I think that the discussion, and correct me if I'm wrong, to do it for the remainder of this year. And then see what it looked like for 27. But for that wasn't it for like the rest of
Yeah.
2026?
Yeah, I recall it now.
You want me to send an email to AJ and basically copy you on and just see, like, we'll just
Well, we want him here at the next meeting to talk about.
have him come in and maybe we can finalize it then.
Is that all you got? Okay, court security grant.
Oh, okay, so that's been submitted. The only thing is, I did have to submit it without you. So once you sign that, basically, because Roger's already signed, I did things a little out of order because I had to move forward, so shame on me, but I wanted to get the grant in. And they accepted it. I just gotta provide
They just need to approve the resolution. You guys have to approve before I can sign it, so.
All right,
That's just resolution.
yes, sir.
Approve the resolution for the court security grant.
Do I hear a motion to approve it?
Oh, I make a motion that we approve this, resolution for the court security grant.
I'll second that.
Roger and Lauren needs to sign this.
Lauren would at least.
Or Lauren to sign.
Roger's already signed the other one.
Okay, let's carry that primary election.
Okay, of course, the election was held Tuesday. And first of all, I just want to give a big thank you to everybody that helped. With the commissioners, and of course, Jason was a huge help. He helped for the election. He actually filled in, at Frankfurt as a poll worker to get the precinct open. Josh and Isaiah took U-Haul around on Monday, delivered all the machines. They went around yesterday, they picked up all the machines, and of course, my staff, is awesome. And Vicky, it went above and beyond for this election. And I literally could not have done this election without Vicky. From entering in all of the voter registrations, getting the equipment tested, getting everything ready. She was just a major part of getting this election to happen. I was, 14 poll workers short on election day. I did have to open 4 precincts, 14 precincts with only 4 poll workers, and that was moving them from one precinct to another just to get the precincts open. We had the precincts, the poll workers asking people all day if they would stay and work that precinct. And also any potential, future elections, we were able to grab 3 people, voters that came in. We only grabbed 3 people that said, yes, I'll work today. And, some of them had to run home, get some supplies and then come right back. And then they finished the rest of the day working the precincts. Sad to say, we only had 17% of our voters turn out. Out of 19,492 voters, we only had 3,428 voters come out.
How many voters we have? 14,000?
We have 19,492, and only 3,428 showed up. We did have issues with the schools not being open. That issue is going to be one that we'll have to address with the board to get it resolved, in writing prior to the next election. So, canvass of the election is Monday at the county clerk's office at the courthouse annex, Monday at 9 o'clock. That is where we will review all the ballot counts, from each precinct, make sure each precinct balanced out. We randomly pull one precinct and hand count it and compare it to the reports. We also have 38 provisionals. We had 36 election night. We had 2 more absentees come in the mail yesterday. So we have a total of 38 provisionals to review on, Monday as well. So any questions on the elections? I had printed results if anybody didn't get one election night, printed results. And they're viewable on the Secretary of State website. If you go to govotewb.com and are you doing it? Govotewb.com, and the very first thing there is election night results. You can see statewide, but then you can also do county by county results as well. So.
Good. Okay. That's all the old business, new business.
Okay, next item, election worker hourly pay. So currently, our poll workers, it's roughly a full day is about 15 hours. They have to be there at 5:30 a.m. The polls open at 6:30 to 7:30, and then it takes them about an hour to finish up the paperwork. So you can roughly say it's about 15 hours plus. And we currently pay $175 an hour. So
An hour.
I was like,
It takes $175 for the day, which comes out to $11.66 an hour.
Now, do they
So-
get paid any for the class?
Yes, they get paid an additional 25 for the class, but some of them didn't get the class in. So it's $11.66 an hour, and I have 120, there's 24 precincts, 5 per precincts is 120 poll workers. So we roughly spend about $21,000 for the poll workers that day. I was looking at rates at even $12 an hour, $13 an hour, 14, and I'm actually gonna request go clear up to $15 an hour. So $15 an hour would be paying the poll worker $225, which would increase that additional $6,000 in payroll for the poll workers. So they would get $225 for the day and then 25 for the class for a total of $250. I know it's, in small elections like this, they're not very busy. You think $15 an hour, but it's hard to get poll workers if you don't.
I don't think they're spending, would you say 15 hours away from home?
Yeah, but I'm saying like the number,
Couple hours.
there was one precinct averaged 2 people an hour. But it's not the work that they're doing, but they're sitting there, they're away from their families, they're sitting there, they can't leave. So they're locked into that position, for the day, and we do offer half days as well, so.
What's most of the other counties?
Oh, it varies. It varies based on their budget. I mean, some pay well over $350. Some pay less than us. We're about normal. I mean, we're about, midway. We're about midway. There's some pay less, there's some that pay more.
Struggle to get people to.
I contacted probably 350 people to fill 120 spots. I mean, I put announcements at the high schools, both high schools, because I was short at Frankfurt, so I thought, well, I'll announce at Frankfurt, maybe I'll get some students. And I thought, well, I'm gonna announce at Kaiser too, because maybe I get some students. It was on social media, it was in the newspaper, it was word of mouth. I had poll workers asking family members and friends, and I was still short 14 poll workers. We asked every voter that came in, would you consider working? Will you ask your family members? We need poll workers to finish the day. And we were clear asking, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, we're still saying, hey, would you stay around and finish? I mean, it was, where we're at.
I think we ought to help.
So we're looking at 27 to 30,000.
Yeah, it would be, $15 an hour would be 27,000. And now if we bumped it, okay, so right now it's about $11.66 an hour. So if we went to $12 an hour, that would pay $180 for the day. $13 an hour would be $195 for the day. $14 an hour would be $210 for the day, and then 15 hours would be $225. So I had the 12, the 13, and the 14s, kind of in there to ask for, but I'm just gonna go start breaking 15, just go right to the top. But it was about a $6,000 difference overall for the payroll.
Well,
It's just whatever your thoughts are, whether you're $12, $13, 14, 15,
I think we need to help them.
needs up to something.
Definitely.
Lauren, is there a feedback process amongst the clerks across the state to say, this is what we paid and here's the problem, so you can kind of identify a tipping
Oh, we're
point?
very rare, we're very aware of what other counties are paying, just other counties have more money to work with than we do.
So the question that I'm going at is, do you feel confident raising it to a specific value will get the response you're looking for? Brett was suggesting, and I know this, maybe we're gonna have a new finance chair, maybe things will change, but if we were to do something like a tax credit,
That was
that would affect the
mentioned.
state revenue or expenses actually, but again, maybe with a finance chair have more of a likelihood that if we gave them a $500 tax credit. I'm trying,
That's what somebody brought up to me.
grasping at ideas of how to.
That's
help.
nothing I can fix on a local level.
No,
So-
grasping it.
I'm just asking here.
So you're talking about if you work the polls, then you get a $500 tax credit on your income tax.
Yes,
And I
Say that'd be state.
the number out of the air. Yeah, it's a state type thing, but you're the expert here trying to get your cards.
I mean, that's been proposed, a lot of things have been proposed to recruit poll workers. It's the work ethic. When I first started back in the 90s, people worked the polls and it wasn't about the money. It was a duty that they felt. It was a service that they felt. They knew and they went and respected what we fought for that ability to be able to vote. That is no longer the generation we have now. It's just, I'll go vote or don't vote. And obviously, when we have 3,000, 17% of the people that bothered to come out, people in other countries die, literally get murdered to be able to vote. And people forget that here. So that service duty is no longer there. It's all about the money. It's all about the money. Not for all of them. As I'm saying, in recruiting more people, the people I have that works the polls, I have wonderful poll workers. I wish I could work every a precinct on election day just to spend time with my poll workers. We have wonderful group of poll workers out there. It's just getting more poll workers. The new ones coming in. It's how much do you pay? And as soon as you say 5:30 in the morning, they're like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. But another thing that was proposed is in recruiting is you have a lot of these organizations that and groups, they do dinners and fundraisers for their organizations, and they don't really raise, you know, some of those fundraisers don't really raise that much money. That if their organization volunteered as poll workers, and then they donated that money that they made that day, you know, towards their organization. You know, that was something that was proposed a couple years ago to get people interested. Couple people did work but there wasn't that many people in the organization. They thought, I worked, I'm keeping that money now because nobody else stepped up. They put in the hours, or whether they donated it, that was up to them. I paid them, what they did with it was up to them. It's just, it's an ongoing, and it's not just Mineral County. There were multiple counties in the state that was short on poll workers.
They called, left me a message at 6:30 in the morning. I didn't see it at like 7:30. I looked at my phone and then. So I mean, they're shaking the trees, but you were talking about people dying for it. You know, Mac Warner, Chris Warner is the Secretary of State. Well, Mac, his older brother, that was one of his jobs with the Army. He was part of the judicial setup of Iraq. And he doesn't show this picture to a lot of people, and I know I'm probably boring y'all with my stories, but I've seen the picture of him and another Army officer with 3 or 4 Afghans. And every one of them had their
Purple thumbs.
no, they didn't have the finger. They had dipped their finger and the Taliban cut their finger off. So all these folks were standing there in this picture with their arms and hands wrapped up. And we're, you know, too early for me. So I mean,
How long has that rate been there? How long have they been paying that rate?
We raised
We've
it
raised it about every year we raise
a
it.
little bit.
As I was found, when it was on $87 or $81.25 when I started working the polls.
Raised last year.
I do believe we raised it for 24.
24, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
couple years.
Yeah, well, we have the election every other year, and so it's raised, you know, probably about 20. Yeah,
shall raise any issue of one.
well, because
If you can't get that forward, I'm just thinking out loud, and a county employee wants to work,
It's not good.
would that be time and a half for that county employee?
It's not good.
yeah, then that's, you're paying a lot more for that.
But
Well, no, they did poll worker pay, they
Okay.
did poll worker pay. Now, I made one of my employees work because the precinct wasn't gonna open and I had no one. So she, you know, said, sorry. So Marcia had to work the precinct, and of course you took somebody with you to get, Frankfurt open, because Frankfurt wasn't gonna open unless you would have worked. And then, Carolyn Craiglin, she went to Wally Ford, so we could get Wally Ford open. And if it wasn't for the 4 of you filling those last 4 spots, those precincts would not have opened. They would not have, I could not have opened them with 3. They're, you know, for representation at the books, at the box. And, you know, 4 is not, you're required to have 5. But it was either open with 4 or don't open at all.
Somebody, you know, in my job, I get feedback all the time. You know, whether it's good or bad, they give it to you. I had somebody tell me, well, you know, we're hurting for poll workers so much, the heck with it. Just make everybody come to the county seat and go to the polls there. We'll have plenty of poll workers and, make it like it was in the 1800s. We're getting too soft now. They need to take it out of their schedule, plan on it, carpool or whatever, and then we won't have to.
Well, that's what you think that we as clerks, of course, the trains get to go by. You know, and like I said, I'm not the only county that is having this issue. And not to mention, when you have a number of precincts, right now we have 24 precincts, first you're paying rent for the location. Then you're paying for all the poll workers, you're paying for the equipment, and each one of those precincts require a certain number of supplies, you have tents and your ballots. And, you know, there was discussion, well, what if we just had it at the courthouse and we did it like with the hours of early voting, like the week and a half of early voting, but that we would extend our hours to 6:30 AM to 7:30 PM for that early voting period. So somebody could say, well, they didn't have the opportunity, but because we would provide the additional hours and that time frame. And
How
it's
many precincts do you have?
24 right now.
Okay.
We
well,
had 35.
If you had a setup over here at the courthouse where you had 4 lines, that's a lot less than what you're dealing with a full precinct. And that's what the guy was telling me. He said, you could set up
mobile trailers like you do for construction for one day and have all this, you know, they check them at the front, then they get to go in there in the trailer and you guys.
Well, it would be the process we use for early voting now, yes, but it would just be extended, it would be the dates, it would just be extended hours.
You could even extend it, and I'm thinking of the people that struggle with transportation. If we would extend it to each municipality, you know, and I would include Elk Garden, I wanna say Fort Ashby.
Say on this
also.
day, we're gonna be
Yeah.
in Fort,
Well, on election day, Elk Garden, Fort Ashby, maybe have one in New Creek, Kaiser, Piedmont, Wally Ford area. Yeah, I mean, that, you could cut back.
well, and that's kind of what we have. We have one precinct in Piedmont, one in Elk Garden, one in Ridgely, one in Carbondale. We do have 3 in Kaiser. But I mean, if we consolidated the 3 in Kaiser into one, we had 35, we consolidated to 24 for the sole purpose of having trouble for poll workers, locations, and the cost. So are we, you know, going to have to cut down even more?
Well, if you
So,
potentially consolidate more of them, then you could offset, or basically offset the cost
You
of
could.
paying more. for poll
Yeah.
workers.
And do we call schools off in most counties?
yeah, it's awful, right? Yeah.
Okay, so you got tons of school buses. I mean, there's been multiple groups that have loaded up vans full of people from churches and senior centers and all this other stuff. So I mean, you got a ready-made transportation situation right here, but then now you're kicking in with the daycare thing. You call off the school, I can't go all the way to Kaiser to go vote. I've got kids at the house. So there's all kind of things. Certainly voting, of course, is you do mail too, I mean.
We do mail in applications. We had very few requests this time, but that's because we had very few voters, but, and
And it goes back to their earlier statement, the low participation rate. I mean, the early voting was available, they didn't do it.
yeah.
But you do all kinds.
But we had some polling locations that were actually in buildings and the people that actually lived in the building didn't even come down and vote. It can't be more convenient than that, so. And actually truthfully, I mean, we had early voting at the courthouse and some of the employees didn't even vote. I mean, it's just like, well, I got that, I forgot to early vote. Some election day, I'm like, oh, I gotta vote. Because I always early vote. I didn't wanna miss that, so. But yeah, so I didn't know. I would ask that you make some kind of decision today about the pay, because along with that, if you do agree to increase it, I would ask that that increase would go into effect for this election. This current one, because, I do not do payroll, until after the canvass. We don't pay the poll workers until we know they did their job fully, so at the canvass, we double check each precinct. And then after that is when we do the payroll for the, poll workers. So if you do decide, agree to one of the increases, I would ask that it would be in effect for this election.
Well, because I work the polls, I don't want to be paid for the sake of this conversation and things, because if I'm saying I'm going to give myself a pay increase. So,
You don't get paid.
I
well,
was gonna get paid for it.
but I don't want to, I, just so you know that, so that we can have this discussion.
Oh, that, he's just saying, I'm
I just don't bother
Interested in
paying.
pay, yeah.
And so,
You could donate to the Beach Festival, I'm sure.
I'm saying he helped, he ran the supplies down to Frankfurt for me, and then he actually even found another poll worker and.
yeah, just because we're having this discussion and, yeah.
Well, I'd like to see give them a raise, but I'd also like to see us kind of look at the places we got and see if we can consolidate.
Well, and that's the thing, Antioch is my smallest one,
I know.
and that's what, I have 5 dedicated poll workers, I have those
They're very
dedicated poll workers. If I'm short anywhere else, that's always the first one, I'm completely full, 5 dedicated poll workers. And then the community, they don't, so once you start consolidating, you start inconveniencing the voters to have to go farther as well. So, but Antioch's my smallest, and then, Piedmont's another small one, but that's a municipality and it has to stay, the municipality has to stay in its own precinct.
So
So,
like Kaiser, does it need 3?
They're fairly large precincts, there's about 900 voters.
I
in each
understand the
precinct.
ones that have one, that's, just leave them, but like, I
We
mean.
used to have 6 precincts in
Yeah,
Kaiser,
which I think is
consolidated
kind of
County.
crazy, but
But it comes down to two, I mean, how
Talk about it later.
Mhm.
do we do that?
Yeah, and we would look at that with the redistricting, and the redistricting will change our numbers.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so like I said, we're,
Some counties.
So they're going for it after big guns, but, what do you guys think about 14?
I'm good with it. They need a raise.
so $14 an hour would be 210.
210 a day.
I'll second
Was that a?
I'll make that a motion, for 14. And
it. Or pay it for this election that just happened, so I'll second that also.
And I don't wanna be, do not wanna be paid.
And I'll second this.
Thank you.
And I thank you,
Yeah.
It's not on the agenda, but I just said redistricting, the municipal maps. The deadline. We have, wait, what is today? Okay, at the next commission meeting, anything, because I think the deadline's the 29th. And we have to submit all of those boundaries for the municipalities. They have their deadline, I think, to submit that's the 29th. So, Rhonda and I spoke, it looks like they have the data that they need to submit that. Now we can submit it, and then we can submit the request for the census blocks. But it's what the census does with it. But she has all the documentation, I think she's gonna be okay. Elk Garden is a concern, we need to clean up the boundaries for Elk Garden. So that will be on the next agenda.
Do they know the boundary?
Yes, they came here and presented with their boundaries,
Yeah,
but it has to be surveyed.
that's what I'm saying. Do they?
They won't have it, they won't make the deadline, no, 'cause it has to be surveyed yet. But we need to move forward with that.
Wasn't that approved like in 2024?
It was a.
But nobody,
Remember,
they didn't have money to have it surveyed.
okay.
But that's where the next thing is, and I talked to our county surveyor. And I have to get him the map that the commission approved, the overlay, because you had 3 options, you approved the one at the commission meeting. To get him the one that was chosen, approved, excuse me. And then he can do a survey, and now this survey that I had asked him to do would be the exterior survey. So it's not gonna be a complete survey of the town, every street corner, every street, just the exterior boundaries. So we can clarify.
Okay.
That's all I had.
Okay, that's all you got on that one.
Okay, the next thing was me too. We're seeing all this stuff about, the 250th anniversary, of the United States. And I don't want us to miss an opportunity, to participate and do something.
Right.
I don't know if you all had thought about anything. I caught Cody Wilson yesterday, and said, I don't want this to fall on her lap because she's parks, because she's gonna be doing the Strawberry Festival in 2 weeks. And then to turn around and do something in July. Now, this is a year-long, it's a year-long celebration. But they're looking at the July 4th weekend as like a main thing. If nothing else, I know you've probably seen the commercials about the big banners and so forth.
do we wanna do something like that?
Yeah, I
Like
think
on
if
the
we could
courthouse?
buy a big banner and place it on the courthouse,
Like on the front?
hang it. I'm not sure the best way to secure it is the wind and everything, but to actually get a very large banner and put it on the courthouse. It would be really nice if we could purchase it and have it up before the Strawberry Festival. Because she'll be having live bands there on the courthouse lawn, it'd be good if that was the background, of American 250th.
Yeah.
Also, it's also the year to celebrate Route 50. And so Route 50's anniversary is also this year. And I don't know, I mean, some of I know like Fox News did a Route 66 thing for the 250th year. Whether they have any plans of coming through Route 50 since it's also an anniversary for Route 50. But if we also have some signage and some stuff done on Route 50 as people come through, Mineral County on Route 50, that we represent well, that we represent our county well. So that, if we look at, and drive up Route 50 and see if any areas need to be, I won't say cleaned up, but make sure that as people drive through on Route 50 this year, that, it represents Mineral County well, but that we also participate. And I didn't know if maybe we could get with the city of Kaiser. I don't know if they have any intentions of doing any parades or anything. I say city of Kaiser because Kaiser is the seat, Mineral County seat, and whether anything's going on in the northern end as well. But if we got a parade scheduled or anything for that weekend, of course, being a July 4th weekend, a lot of people are out of town doing their own things. But at least,
A lot of stuff going on that weekend.
yeah, a lot of stuff going on. So at a minimum, they're just asking for local communities to, do block, they call them block parties. That the local communities do block parties on that weekend to celebrate the 250th, but at minimum, to purchase a large banner and have it placed on the courthouse.
Well, do we have a spot for another flag? I'd like to see a 250-year flag put up, because I'm afraid, and I'm not opposed to the banner, but I'm afraid that if we make the banner, it's just gonna be folded, laid back, and that'll be the last you ever see where we can put that flag up there.
But it can hang all year.
Yeah, I'm
The banner
talking
would hang.
about 250 years is quite an accomplishment. I'd
Yeah,
like to see it.
We could purchase a small flag and put on the flagpole itself.
And
Yeah,
just leave it up there with the
yeah.
West Virginia flag and the United or nation.
So do you want me to look into a banner and a flag?
I think it would be nice myself.
Put it on the new edition. since it's got-
Yeah, cause you got that whole little
Yeah,
slate
yeah.
there, just hang it up and
So like on the side of the courthouse, like on that, by the entrance,
Yeah.
on the
Okay.
annex on that
Yeah.
flag.
the
I mean-
annex?
The wall that's facing the Armstrong Street.
Yeah.
That one,
Parking lot.
Yes.
with Blue House.
okay.
So we'd have to, get a lift to make sure that it's installed very well, so it doesn't, if you put it flat on there, it should,
Yeah.
We
Might
might
get
wanna,
it fastened in there tight.
we might wanna look into just put permanent hooks.
Are you gonna-
Future stuff?
You're gonna put it on the annex building or gonna put it on the courthouse building?
the annex building has a bigger surface.
It's got a bigger surface.
It's got a bigger surface and it stands out more because there's nothing in front of it.
Okay,
The trees in front of the courthouse kind of
kind of blah.
block it, whereas you're gonna have that, now you have the open parking lot. It's just, you're gonna have a clean slate right there to,
It'd be nice if we had a way to get it stretched between the courthouse. Wouldn't,
the wind would tear
Yeah.
that, but
That one's crazy, it's destroying the door, so.
And whether we purchase some of the long ones to stretch over roadways, even if we purchase one of those to put over Route 50,
So couple thoughts, just, I don't know if you've already been working with some of this. Are you aware
No.
that Gary Howell is,
the Route 50,
Right.
yes, he's working on that over there at Burlington Fire
Is he
Department.
still doing that? I haven't heard anything from him.
I don't know where he stands in it.
there's nothing over there.
Well, he's working on it with the fire department and all the rest of that, so it's related, and just wanted to make sure you had awareness of that. That seems to be his baby and it's related to cars and all the rest of that, so hey, God bless you and move forward. The other thought I would share with you is if you're gonna put anything across the roadway, is the highway department will have
Oh, yeah,
an opinion on that.
yeah, it definitely has to be high enough that nothing will go underneath and catch it. And there's certainly certain locations we could probably even do that.
I was even thinking about, over Burlington, because fire department has all that ground. That has that field there, we could even put a sign in, or even there is a billboard there. Those billboards are fairly inexpensive, I think she charges $200 a month. If we could put a billboard up, it's around 75 to install, and it's 100 some for the banner itself to get it made. So you're looking at $500-600 to put it up for a month, unless you want to go longer than that. But there is a billboard there that we could possibly get, to do that, go that route, or we can put up a ring down there, if the fire department would let us do that.
I think Gary was working on some permanent type of,
Yeah, he was working on a big,
right,
horseshoe shape type thing to drive your car in, take a picture.
yeah, kind of like the US 66.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He modeled after one sold 66 out west.
Like I said, I saw where Fox News went through and did the Route 66.
Yeah.
They were driving Route 66 and stopping in communities along the way, and of course, that was, you know, they were broadcasting that. I don't know if they have any intentions of doing that with Route 50 as well, but just thinking ahead, you know, and this, with the celebration of Route 50 itself, the anniversary for Route 50, that we just don't miss out on this opportunity.
Agree.
I was thinking about this the other night, when I ordered banners for the side of my house, so I was just like, we haven't done anything, this is good,
Yeah.
thank you.
So I'll make a do we need a motion for that then, or
Yeah.
make a motion, we do a banner and a flag. Candace will check on that. I'll make a motion, we do that, and then maybe anybody can look at, come up with ideas to put something along Route 50.
I second that.
Okay, so that will be, if we could have the banner before the Strawberry Festival, I think that would be really good to have one, if that's doable.
Yeah.
If nothing else, and then the ideas for the Route 50 and stuff for the next meeting, to carry this over to the next meeting then?
Yeah.
Okay,
I think, got to get a hold of Felix right away and see about,
Yeah,
or
I
whoever.
was gonna look to see what
oh,
was
they
out there
got a
already.
lot online, yeah. they
There's
got
already a lot, I
online.
don't think we have to have a date, I think there's already been a time made.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they're gonna be pretty reasonable because they're,
Yeah, it doesn't need to be specific to Mineral County, I'm
No,
thinking
no,
it's just a 1776, like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, oh, you're wrong, we wanna keep business at our
Yeah.
local, but I know there's a lot out there already, like he just said, he bought the banners, I've seen advertisements, I thought about getting a banner myself for
Yeah,
the house.
there's a ton.
Even if we can get that information, you know, out to more people that, you know, buy their own banners and such, so.
Okay.
Okay, next thing would be too, I'm sorry, okay, I'm not sure, I'm assuming the County Commissioners Association you've probably received things about the hours and, how many hours kind of to for PEIA insurance coverage.
Yep.
So
We
this,
discussed it the last meeting.
oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay,
But what do you want? You want to do a time card? You want to do a time
it
card?
was recommended, there's different options that, you know, you have, a lot of you keep things, you know, you schedule on your phone, if you want to, you know, do a screenshot of that and just so we have verification for the hours for, you know, should we have an audit, cause they were talking about coming through and do the audits on the county. That, you know, if you have some documentation, there was a paper kind of spreadsheet that was presented as well. It was very generic, but just to say, you know, you went to the ambulance authority meeting and you were there for an hour and a half. You know, you were on the phone with, about the Marl project for 30 minutes, but I mean, all of anything counts and all that we got.
I don't know if it was in this group text or her or whatever, somebody asked me a question, but then I set my time sheet in and said 30 seconds to read the text, 19 minutes to, contemplate the text and 30 seconds to respond, 20 minutes total.
And I'm sure this fits for almost everybody. You don't always have 20 hours per week.
You might only have 10 this week, but 30
But
next
that's
week.
what I'm getting to. But there's some weeks that it's every stinking day you've got something going on.
It only has to be 1040 for the year.
Oh, for the year, 10
Yeah,
days for the
because
whole year.
a full
Gotcha.
year is 20,080
Yeah,
hours.
yeah.
So as long as you're over the 1,040 for the year, you've met that obligation. So yes, you might have 10 hours this week, 10 hours next week, 50 the next week. So,
Yeah, that's exactly what we have.
yeah,
Yeah, so my intent was to make up a spreadsheet and I was just.
They already have one out there.
But if there's already a spreadsheet out there, that's probably what I would prefer to use, but.
And then you can just put notes in it too.
yeah. Yeah, 'cause it more or less had, that's more or less what it was. It just had the date and then it had a space
that's
for
what I
the
was-
description
Yeah,
and then the hours involved. And then, of course, you calculated as it went through.
Your drive to the place, things like that.
Yeah, so if you have, like I said, airport authority, then you have the time there, the time you're discussing it. Follow up, you might have follow-up things you have to look into afterwards.
Let me ask you, like, if we go to a conference, that's
Yeah.
24 hours,
Yeah.
24 hours?
Yeah. Yeah, cause it's all work related, it's all county related. Now, right now, they're only targeting the county commissioners because I wanna say you're part-time, you only meet 2 times a month, right? But they're not really addressing it so much with the county clerk, the assessor, the sheriff, the prosecutor. They're not really addressing them yet, cause we're actually usually in office. I don't know, this is a statewide thing, PEIA, a couple years ago, they started doing audits on our employees. They wanted to know, they started asking for more documentation, marriage license, birth certificates, divorce records. They really did a crackdown a couple years ago on our employees. So then this is, I guess, somewhere else that they're targeting.
Yeah, so in the process, my understanding in the process of cracking down on employees and not just with county involved employees, talking
Oh, yes.
all the state employees and everything. Somebody brought up, well, what about these people? They don't do a timesheet. They don't, meaning us, commissioners. They don't do a timesheet. Do we have no proof that they're doing 20 hours a week? That's my understanding where it came from. And the PEIA just the way that in.
Aren't you technically salaried though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're an exempt employee?
Not the PEIA standard. Some of our employees, if they don't meet the 1040, they don't, insurance has cracked down on who's eligible.
Yeah, I gotta wonder if they're violating federal law.
Because actually, aren't the delegates being targeted too, because you guys don't,
They don't have
Not that I'm aware
Oh,
of.
you're
They pay for it out of the pocket.
But
oh, okay, they're not covered,
but-
okay.
this, going back years ago, when I was in private industry, but this sounds like a federal type thing with regards to exempt employee status. I mean, if your salary is $100 a week, you don't show up. If you're an exempt employee, you still get paid $100. Now, time for the employer to start talking about that.
Right.
But you also don't get overtime as an exempt employee guarantee. You don't get guaranteed overtime. One of my employers actually paid overtime to exempt employees. That was their decision. But I think, part of that whole conversation is exempt employees do not have to punch time cards. So I'm wondering if this is
Our
being,
employees only do, not exempt.
I gotta wonder if this is one of those things where PEIA and others are imposing their desires and is outside the federal, requirements.
Well,
And I know that's not yours to solve.
I know there's enough people involved in this, I would think that somebody would have already looked into that. This has been going on for a couple months now. Or longer.
But that kind of like investigating as far as like you providing a timesheet, that says that they're hourly.
Right.
I mean, that's how,
Which may force you to pay overtime.
Yeah,
so you have, yeah, it's like, I think about these things, but I don't,
Yeah, I mean, I got stuck in a lot of labor discussions in my
I
life
do.
and yours is probably much more current and maybe more extensive than me. I gotta wonder who's behind all this.
Yeah.
If they thought this
I
out.
considered this, but I'm like, what is this? Because I've got questions about other ways.
We're in about all the clerks because of payroll and the PEIA, but this isn't, and that's why I assume the county commissioners among themselves have been addressing this issue. And I would think that it was gonna be a statewide solution that they were gonna come up with. But I just wanted to make sure that you guys had this discussion, so again, I apologize for not being present at the last meeting or not watching the video from the last meeting yet. I didn't realize.
we have meetings in June coming up, so I'm sure that'll be.
A topic, a very big topic, yeah,
Yeah, so there was a topic at our spring board meeting.
okay. And that's the only reason I had it on the agenda is that it was informed and discussed, so.
I didn't think of it as the aspect of salary though. That's good.
So what route are we planning on taking?
Nothing at this time.
Just keep track of it ourselves.
I'll send the spreadsheet that they had
Yes.
as a sample.
Is it Excel form?
I believe so. I kind of glanced at it, it looked like it. So it would only make sense that way it would calculate.
I would use it just for my reports.
When I had employees, I had a couple salary employees, and it's up to the company to keep track of what their hours really were versus what they were doing, because employees who are salaried can go to the labor board and report that they're doing a lot of overtime. And we would have to pay it just for their claim. They don't have to prove it, but it's up to you.
All of our employees
Approve
do
the hours.
time sheets, they're salaried.
Yeah, we're salaried.
What what I'm saying is maybe this is part of the checking the time limits, checking in and out, because it's up to whoever's paying that person to keep track of the hours. Even their salary, they don't have to clock in and clock out. If you don't track their hours, they can claim,
But the difference too is they are elected officials.
Yeah.
They're elected officials. They're not employees, they're elected officials. So it's a lot of thing, and this is PEIA's call.
Why is PEI?
They're the ones, I mean, this is all about insurance. That's what it's about.
Right, it's eligibility.
Eligibility,
Basically, if
yeah.
you're not meeting a specific amount of hours, then you may not be insurance eligible, and that's what they're looking.
Well, the actuaries are always looking at risk and the amount of claims and,
Yeah.
okay, if you're getting paid all this money and you're only working 2 hours a month, but you got all this money in claims, they're guarantee that
Yeah.
their cost benefit analysis, sit there and go, what's work related, what's not. And so,
All right, community education outreach service, what are we gonna do with that?
So they were asking you to sign a proclamation for Community Educational Outreach Service Week.
Yeah.
This is what used to be like, what they call the homemakers, the West Virginia Extension Office. So they are asking for your approval on this proclamation. They also, I believe, invited you all to go to their banquet on the 21st. You received. Pass that. Last year is about the church,
That's this Friday evening.
next Thursday,
No, it's this Friday.
21st, isn't it?
No, cause I can't go to that, cause it's,
I'm pretty sure it's the
what's her name?
21st.
Oh, Shirley Bland sent me something.
Yeah, yeah, Shirley Glenn. I thought it was April 21st at
I
like
think
6.
it's Friday because I told her I couldn't be there because I'm tied up. See. Well, let's go on down, I'll look at
May
that.
21st, is it Thursday?
Thursday, it's Thursday.
Can't be there that day either.
Can't be there either.
Okay, well, I'll double check the date, but date and time and location and I'll forward it.
Thank you.
But the proclamation, can we get a couple in the?
Yeah, so I'll make a motion, we approve this proclamation, which proclaims May 17th through the 23rd as Community Educational Outreach Service Week.
I second
I
that.
approve that also.
And also, it's not on here, back on April 21st, you all did approve the proclamation for the Child Abuse Preventive Month. I had the sample, but I had to retype it, so Marcia helped me with that. I'll have it here to sign as well, but
You
it's,
have a copy of this for us to sign?
yes, I have the original, yes.
Okay. Where's that banquet at?
It's out of
Fountain
town.
Church.
Out again.
I thought she told me Friday.
Okay.
I gotta get my hours in.
Well, you did, getting trash all week.
Yeah, working the polls, there you go.
Yeah.
Got 15 hours in. Then that night too.
All right, you got something on the,
Yeah.
Frankfurt High School Day?
Yes, sir. So I was gonna get with, I got with the principal and he was supposed to give me information and last night, at the last minute, I realized, hey, I didn't get any information from him. So I had some stuff and I looked up something real quick. I would like to go ahead and read this. Proclamation declaring May 24th, 2026 as Frankfurt High School Day in Mineral County. Whereas Frankfurt High School was established in 1976 through the consolidation of Fort Ashby High School and Ridgely High School, bringing together generations of students, families, educators, and community members in pursuit of academic excellence and Falcon pride. And whereas since opening its doors and graduating its first class in 1977, Frankfurt High School has become a distinguished educational institution within Mineral County and throughout the state of West Virginia. And whereas Frankfurt High School was recognized in 2022 as the #1 high school in the Cumberland metropolitan area and ranked among the top high schools in the state of West Virginia by U.S. News and World Report. And whereas Frankfurt High School consistently demonstrates academic excellence, maintaining an outstanding graduation rate of approximately 95% and achieving academic performance levels in reading, mathematics, SAT, and ACT testing that exceed national averages. And whereas the students, faculty, staff, administrators, parents, and supporters of Frankfurt High School have built a proud tradition of success in academics, athletics, music, extracurricular activities, and community involvement. And whereas Frankfurt High School has earned distinction and statewide recognition for excellence, perseverance, teamwork, and sportsmanship throughout successful programs in football, baseball, cross-country, track and field, bowling, basketball, wrestling, soccer, volleyball, softball, tennis, golf, cheerleading, marching band, and numerous other student activities. And whereas the accomplishments of Frankfurt High School have brought pride and recognition to Mineral County and continue to inspire future generations of students and citizens, now therefore be it proclaimed that in recognition of the 50th graduating class of Frankfurt High School and in honor of the school's longstanding tradition of academic, athletic, and community excellence, the Mineral County Commission hereby declares May 24th, 2026 as Frankfurt High School Day in Mineral County, West Virginia, and encourages all citizens to join in celebrating the students, faculty, staff, alumni, and supporters who have contributed to the proud legacy of Frankfurt High School over the past 50 graduating classes. That's what I made up.
Sounds good.
Okay, so I'd like to make a motion, Sheila. I'd like to make a motion, we approve this proclamation, and I would like to read, part of it, not all of it, maybe part of it. Yep. I'd like to read part of it at the high school graduation.
I don't think you read all of it.
Yeah, I'll second it. Yeah, I think
I agree with that too. Nice job.
Do you want me to put it on the, Mineral County Commission, like, letterhead?
Yes, can you, I don't know if you still have any of those, nice papers and stuff. We had some, yeah, in a folder and that kind of thing. I'd like to,
Yeah.
so, get that printed out. I did send that to you last night.
That's all.
So,
And the CEO banquet is the 21st, but you gotta know about 15th. I knew 15th was in there for something.
okay,
Too much going on.
all right, I can't go to that.
I can't be there either. You going?
I just need to talk to my wife. We do have other things going on. so-
Yeah, I'm supposed to be in Petersburg that night. I don't even know if I'm gonna make Petersburg.
Thank you for that info.
So he read the, resolution for Frankfurt High School and made a motion, and I think
Yeah,
Roger seconded, or
Yeah.
Jason maybe,
it'll be read at their graduation.
who seconded,
I did.
and I'll, put it on the
Dutch made it.
fresh paper.
And I agree with it.
Yeah. And Lauren, you're right. The, Fountain United Brethren Church is having that, on the, what did I say? 21st?
Yeah,
21st,
Thursday.
I didn't bring it down enough, and they have to know that it's Friday, 15th, so, and I can't be there. I knew the 15th was something, cause but I can't make everything now.
Are any of you able to make it to that one?
I'll need to check. I'll let you know.
I know I can.
Okay, you guys can, I can take it.
What time on the,
I think it's the same.
It's 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
But my mom's the one.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you can go if nobody can,
Yeah, I'm probably going with my mom.
cause I'm tied up that day all day. It's crazy. Alright. We got the resolution in. We've got the new hires for 911.
But he said there's only.
So Devin will be the only one, Amy will not be proceeding.
Yeah.
So that's the only one that needs approved, and they, talked about it in executive session, so now they can.
I'll make a motion, we approve the hiring of Devin Spataro.
I'll second it.
I agree.
All right. Did he give?
Hey, I don't remember
I don't-
who sent that to me.
Is it Jordan?
Frank
But yeah, yeah,
But
it
he
must have
did-
been Jordan. There was a memorandum of understanding between Hampshire County ESA and the Mineral County Emergency Medical Services, I guess, response one. Did you guys?
What was
get
this?
a copy of it?
I don't recall if it did.
I don't know why I didn't print it off. Why didn't I print it off? Oh, one thing, it didn't have a place for the commission to sign, it had a place for Lauren Trenner to sign.
Lauren Trent.
But shouldn't it be between the commission?
I don't know. I thought it was between the emergency services.
Well, it would be Mineral County Ambulance Authority then. It should be Mineral County Ambulance Authority. It should either be the Mineral County Commissioner or Mineral County Ambulance Authority. It shouldn't be probably,
For the chase car specifically?
which is under the Ambulance Authority, right?
Each agency has to sign an MOU as a part of their licensure. Even though, yes, it could be ambulance authority, each agency has to have one. So like for Fort Ashby, I have a mutual aid agreement and an MOU signed with each of my mutual aid organizations, not just a blanket one. We have to have the individual agency signature.
Okay, but the response is the Ambulance Authority.
If Hampshire's asking for use of the chase car, it would have to be the chief of the organization that signs the MOU.
And Lauren is chief medic, so,
Yeah.
she would be.
Okay, so that does not have to get through approval for the county commission then?
Correct. If it's just an MOU or a mutual aid agreement, that way the chase car can go into Hampshire if they're requested, especially because of the blood. That's just an agreement between the agency. It's agency to agency.
Okay.
And I approve, I apologize, I did not read it. I threw it on the agenda because I was afraid it needed to be on the agenda, but I was in such a hurry when I threw it on, I hadn't even read it, so I was like, thank you for being on there to clarify, because I threw it on, not even sure if it needed to be there, so that answered that.
Thanks.
No worries.
Thanks.
Okay, so we don't have to.
Just info.
This elevator repair for others.
So, I spoke with a safety person from the state. I apologize, I don't have their name right now off the top of my head. But we are required to have a service, like a maintenance service for the elevators and a third party that's Leedy, to do the, inspection. So whether we want to take a risk of not having a service contract and just paying as needed. However, it sounds like the inspection that someone like Otis will do would be about $6,000 out of pocket if you don't have a service agreement.
Per unit?
No, I think it's overall, I think, but don't get, I mean, I don't wanna like say that, but I think the previous quote that they gave us is it like $400 or $500 a month, or like 400, something like that?
This is $450 a month.
So we can pay that, and that has them do, it does cover some parts, some things they can replace, and it also covers their inspections that are required. So I don't think we have to have a service agreement, but if we don't, and we have them do the required inspections, and we have them come in and do the upkeep per se for the elevators. Yeah, it's like about $600 an hour.
Is it, I mean, are there other companies that we have to look?
There were several. We only have the one from Otis, because they're the ones that installed it.
Okay,
So,
Otis installed it, okay.
so I can have several, there's like probably 9 or 10. However, Otis is in Oakland. We have a service, they have a service place there in Oakland, Maryland, so they're not that far away. I did check a couple others. There's one called ATIS, and the closest office they have is in Fairfax, Virginia. And then we have one called Schindler that we can reach out to there in Morgantown. And then Maintain X is in Raleigh, North Carolina. So we have some other options. I can definitely have Tammy go and contact them and see like the cost and see what they'll charge us. But most of them are gonna be a annual fee or a monthly. But as we look with Otis, if you pay them upfront and you pay them for the year, there's no percentage backed off. So we can look for it. It appears that we're good until September as far as being, in compliance, as far as having like this, what is it, inspection is good through that date. So we can find out and compare costs.
Yeah, I'd like to explore some of these other companies and get a cost.
But my whole thing was understanding if we were required. Because, yeah, I'm not an elevator expert, but. But we are required to have that third party, which is leading, and been doing that because they used to do the chairlift. So we've had them, I guess, set up for a long time. But now I know that there is a requirement to have someone else do that inspection, and basically they do it together. So Otis does it or whoever, and then Leedy would basically see that inspection done, and that's been done with the contractor. So now it's our responsibility.
And I'd like to know if that's per elevator, or is that for all three of them?
So for all three, that 400,
450?
yeah, that's for all,
That's
that's
for all
an
three.
overall service
Yeah,
agreement.
when you flip to the second page, it says number
Oh,
of
I-
units,
Yeah,
three.
it covers them all.
And that's what I was double checking.
Oh, okay, I didn't read
And
all
we
that.
did reach out to, other counties to ask, and we've not gotten any responses,
Okay.
specifically to a certain.
And this will be a 5-year contract.
Mhm.
I think we need to do our due diligence and look at other companies for price quotes.
Okay,
Plus, if it's over 5,000, we need to have 3 quotes anyway, right?
When it's professional services, I don't know, that's what it
Yeah, I'm
gets
not sure
into.
about that.
I know if it's over five, that's for PO,
Mhm.
Okay.
if it's over
But
5,000,
then if you're purchasing over 15,000, you have to have quotes. But
if that fits.
professional services, I'm not sure, we'll have to look and make sure we're
Okay.
compliant with that as well.
So we're looking at 5,400
Yeah.
for the year. For- What's the difference?
Yeah. Well. Okay, so we'll move on down now to the courthouse security.
Okay, so we have an actual phone there now, and the extension is 1212. So there was no phones there, they were not like set up for phones, they had that weird little phone that was like hooked up with probation or something, they still have that, but they have an actual like landline out there. And it's extension 1212. The next topic though with that area is that metal mat that's there. So there's metal mats put in, and they have like the metal pieces and then the carpeting, and they don't operate like they're supposed to.
What is the purpose of those?
Those mats?
Yeah.
Catch the dirt and mud and
But how do you clean them?
We are supposed to be able
supposed to be
to roll
able,
them,
supposed to be able to pull them up and clean it out.
but they're too heavy.
Well, they're too heavy and
They're
they
too
turn around and build a
large.
wall on top of them.
Yes, so they weren't installed properly, that's just my understanding, I don't know. But what's happened is the one that goes into, the courthouse is too long, so it's underneath the metal detector, so the metal detector goes off all the time. So we need to cut it, I guess, or make it smaller, so it's not under the metal detector. Because we wanna have accurate readings of the metal detector, so it functions properly, because it's not functioning properly. So everyone comes through and it appears that they have something on them.
I tried to get them not to put them in to begin with.
Yeah, I don't know. Now, the one in the annex is okay because it's not underneath.
Should have just put the towel down and had a rug on top of it. At least you can take the rug out to hold it up.
Yeah, that was my opinion.
So I guess
That's what I
what
wanted to do.
why I'm bringing this up is we're stuck with it now, I guess. So it's gonna cost money because I don't think that's gonna be any warranties or anything else. But to take it up and then replace that section under the, cause it's so long, I don't know if you've noticed it, it's super long compared to the annex one. So it needs to be taken down and made smaller. so that the metal detector works properly. So I don't even know where to get on it, I'm gonna like figure it out, like I've been, but I'll figure it out and I'll see, I guess it costs. You could do that. It might be going back to Fair Chance and see who their contractor was for that, cause they contracted a lot of this stuff. And then see what the cost would be. I mean, is that the approach? Do you want to take them completely out, or do you just want it? I mean, something to think about, because it's gonna take me a little bit to figure
How
out.
much will it take to take it completely
I have
out?
no idea. I don't even know what the thing is. Like, I've seen them in other places, but it's not functioning like it should, because you're supposed to be able to roll it up and clean it, like take it up, but it doesn't move.
We could
because
get
it's-
it out and just like put towel down, put a rug there.
I mean, I don't know. Would it be
That would
more,
solve the issue.
more costly to like cut it up
There's a
and?
rug on top of it anyway. There's a rug on top of one anyway.
Yeah.
So I think
And the
we
gaps are
don't,
big enough, actually big enough, people could catch their heels down in them.
we don't need to worry about the one in the annex, because it's not effective enough. Okay, so it can just stay there. It's just, it's its own thing. So do we wanna like get some quotes on taking it completely out
Taking it out.
and then
yeah.
just replacing it? Cause
Yeah.
it might be more expensive to actually modify it. I would
Yeah.
think. Okay, I'll see what I can find out. But I think that's the thing, cause it's been a thing for a while, and I'm like, how come we're only talking about it now? Like, it's been doing that since however long that's been there. How long has it been there?
Since it's been open.
Well, like how many years? Or how, like a year?
No, not even a year yet.
Not even, yeah.
Okay, but like
That was when they built
8 or
that.
9 months at
Yeah.
least? Okay,
Yeah, when they built that.
okay, cause I know it was doing that when it started, so I'm like, okay, alright. But I'll find out I'll see what I can get about it and see what we can do.
Okay, the X-ray machine.
Yeah, currently the one we have in there now, not operational, and to repair,
This is the one in the annex?
the one in the annex, the one in the courthouse is working fine. And to repair it is gonna be more than half of the cost of buying a new one.
How old is that machine?
Sure, that one is.
That's the one they brought over from. Over from their house.
No, it was new for that initially.
Even what?
It was new, they had that one already.
That one's up in there.
Interesting. West is the one.
That model.
Oh, it was, it's the same one that was down at the magistrate
Yeah.
where you used to go into the magistrate.
Oh, okay.
But we have 3 quotes. There's an issue not having the ability to scan certain items. Technically cannot search each and every bag. What we have now in the courthouse is equivalent to this quote, a lot of quicker. And this is the mid quote of the 3,
Copies.
which would be my choice. Of the 3, because 1, the guy's already trained on that machine. 2, if you have both the same, whenever you have somebody come in and service them, you're not calling 2 different companies. They're for it.
I just changed to make you want to do it that way.
Yeah, make plans for the line, please.
For the minutes.
Yeah. And it includes, install, training is already in, now the training on, but we need to pay for anything. The way I have the speaker. And it includes the one of the parts of it. Travel, includes.
Possibility of finding a grant.
Well, one more grant that we applied for is for the handball.
Okay.
This is, for this one, we'll come back. I actually called yesterday to inquire, but if there's anything they would do, they did have a model.
No, they could have got their own.
That they thought they may have had in stock, but it's been all that, it's not been worth discussing. That's the metal defender. Now, I did my research on this, it is considerably lower, it's 13,000 for this model, but the reason being is they're taking aftermarket spares. rebranding it. Putting them under their product. Now, I was told we can take our chance on that, however. One unit may have a different, the same model, may have a different scanner than one sitting right beside it of the exact same model. So. These are the three quotes. The other one for is 32,000, which is this. My recommendation is to say we got it for this. Do the band is one, the guys are already trained on this machine, and two, then you have to have some service at one company serving both.
This, one's cheaper, 13.
Yes.
It just says it includes delivery, it doesn't say, like the other one says includes install and training and warranty. Does it have
I have the
any?
same warranty, but again, this is a company that's taking aftermarket Chinese scanners, rebranding them with their name. Putting them in service.
Okay.
Same with that, if you're gonna have a different company servicing this machine, as you are having one servicing the machine that's already in. This is putting the same machine that we had in the courthouse.
Yeah, that's all one.
Gold. Putting another unit. Equal to that. Yeah. Is that the third one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even considering. You're not considering it? This 30 gets twice the amount. Would be probably the same unit.
For that much, for scanner, everything. Yeesh.
Well,
It actually does, but there's some lawsuits over there.
now this is just for that scan and hold, see if I can cut one. We don't. Well, I don't even want for her. Yeah, I don't.
You can actually have that one if you want it.
Okay.
Just one.
I have copies of it in here.
But you're just looking for something roundabout, basically what you.
It X-rays the one, yeah, there's none there again. We run into issues, so we are not gonna be able to search.
Yeah.
That being said, you need to know what's in the bag.
Now, the one over the courthouse, how's, is it good?
It's fine.
Do we get any credit? I mean, will they, take our equipment and give any credit off of
I
it?
don't think so.
Okay.
We're actually running looking to move across that change.
And that's what I say, and then could you actually hold that machine since they're both the auto clear for potential parts in the future?
I can inquire about that. I don't know.
I don't know what upgrade, how old it is and what upgrades have been done.
I don't
The
know
one we have is
exactly.
close to the one we have in the courthouse.
Yeah, it's, I think 2 models prior to the one we have, so I'm not exactly sure what would transfer over. And 2, if we actually wanna do that. But I can inquire to them about what it costs for them to take that machine. Because we can't just start it.
And this is what we really can't delay because of the court, as soon as they make a decision today.
I guess judges and magistrates are.
Yes, sir.
They're-
Yes, sir.
And did you, sorry, I wasn't listening to everything. Did you say how long the warranties?
1 year, service parts and transportation.
That's not long. Can you buy extended?
I can check.
That's not long.
That's not long at all.
But all 3 companies, they all have the same one year warranty. I'm guessing that's a standard for type of equipment. Okay.
And sorry, woman, just make sure it's which one did you recommend?
Recommended the
Auto clear, the auto clear.
because that's what we currently have. Guys are already trained on that machine, so they will know how to use this one. And rather than having 2 separate companies for service, one machine, one the other, yeah, one company servicing it.
And there's no type of lease agreements or anything like that, this is just simply straight buyout.
I can inquire about an extended warranty. And cost of that, I don't even know if it's offered, but I will inquire about it.
You are bold. And, how soon would it be here?
Once you guys tell me yea or nay,
Now, let me ask you another question, because probably nobody started this. Can that thing be moved?
one building to another.
Yes, sir. You
The
know,
one-
this.
You were wondering about moving it. Now, it can be, but there's, things that have to be done through Charleston in order to make.
The reason I asked you this is if for some reason we have to use the health department building for court for a couple of months, are we gonna have one out there?
And why it's important is since mid-March to current date, there's been almost 2,900 people in that building.
Oh, yeah, there's.
That's not employees, that's citizens coming in and out of that building.
Now, does the employees have to scan theirs? How about a disgruntled employee? Do they have to
So
scan?
you tell me which one it is. and we'll
So
see.
you got a bunch of. And all jokes aside, I was.
And honestly, that would be a. Having on their backs, or yes, we could do that. That's just simple,
The thing of it that bothers me, and you know this as well as I do, because Brett, we've talked about this morning, the way things is getting, it's getting bad out there.
Very.
And they come in before 7:30 though and walk in the side door.
Yeah, I know.
Some actually still walk through the side door.
Yeah.
I was gonna tell you something you might be able to think about, since you have to have it right now, you won't be able to, and I don't know what the criteria for the state and everything is, but years ago, I remember when, North Carolina, say we get, when they had the, Olympics in Salt Lake, they had tons of these things, because they had to have them. And the FBI, people were going through the FBI to see if they could get them, and I think they were just giving them to them. And, I mean, we got the World Cup soccer thing this summer, and probably some 250 a year. But like I said, you're trying to get one now, because y'all need it now. And probably, I mean, if you're inquiring, those models are probably mobile. You know, you can probably put it on a hand truck and move it, set it up. But like I said, you're also looking at service, warranty, and you let that thing come down too hard and you might change the calibration on it and have to come up, get somebody to work on. So that's a chance, but like right now, like you were saying, you need it now for court, so. What do you guys think?
Really, we don't have, I hate to spend money, but we don't have much choice. What do you want to know about the carryover? After the World Cup.
I'm being honest. I mean, we close in the fiscal year, but then there's a lot of stuff we do to balance out, but guys, say, mid-August.
A rough estimate, mid-August.
We have to have a budget revision done July 15th. And, it's as close to actual, but then we have stuff that goes through, it's still posted to the prior year.
You have.
Get down, see.
Yes, yes, make a motion, that we purchase the auto clear X-ray machine cannon. 16,200 for the courtroom annex.
Well, it's actually 18,000.
because you got freight. I had to do that.
Sorry, I see that now.
unless you volunteer to drive up to New Jersey and pick that up, I mean.
Well, that's what I was thinking, what we paid for the U-Haul, what you had to pay, well, you have a trailer, you could haul and you had to pay for the U-Haul.
But then if we damage it or something.
Yeah, they're responsible for it if they deliver it.
I mean, I just thought.
Matter of fact, I spoke to the gentleman yesterday and they had an issue with that same thing. It was freighted to, somewhere in Morgantown. And the driver didn't have it secured in the back and they were responsible for replacing that unit, so.
Make a motion that the auto clear X-ray machine for 18,000 for the, annex.
I'll second that.
Thanks. Get it taken care of and purchase orders for the next meeting.
All right, the potential deputy.
Before we get into in-depth conversation about that, can we briefly go into an executive session so I can put out some information on this?
We're going into a executive session for other things, so,
Oh, we are.
yes.
So there's.
Okay. Oh, okay, yeah, I can wait for that, that's no problem.
I have to meet one of the requirements of, okay, for a purpose of it.
What's that?
It has to meet one of the requirements that it can't be talked about in public though.
Well, this involves,
Personnel.
yeah, personnel, specifically, family.
And then the next one under maintenance has got to be executive too.
Yes.
Okay. And then, so the last three items are executive session. Just,
You wanna knock out the rest of it, the reports and everything then, and that'll be pretty much.
So whatever you guys wanna do. Oh, you want to do reports?
I go ahead and do my report, if that's okay.
We,
So, basically working on several things, but working on the EMS equipment, reimbursement. So the monies that was received, it's about 9,500, I believe, for EMS, and then around 5,000-ish for the chase car. Working on those. Just gonna follow up with some further correspondence to get those who have not sent anything in for reimbursement to remind them. But I see them slowly trickling in.
It has to be spent by when?
Well, it's the end of June. Yeah, but, I did give them a deadline at the end of this month, just to make sure, and they'll probably not watch this video and know that, but it's okay. So getting those through, I really encourage, and if you talk to anybody in the different EMS, but encourage them to spend the money. It is for equipment, it has to be for patient care. So working on that, working on the courtroom remodel, all the little things that kind of pop up in between. But really all I have for right now, just moving right along.
the last commission, April 30th, went to the legislative dinner.
For all
three-
of you?
all three of us
Yes.
are.
Then May 5th, testing the election equipment. Also on the 5th, Region 8, met with them in the morning.
Says,
Roger,
wasn't it?
yes,
Says.
CEDS.
yeah,
CES, yeah.
Roger and I and Candace was there. Also May the 5th, went to the, meet the candidates at the Legion,
What day was that?
May 5th.
I forgot about it.
Yeah, I got that.
And then, the 6th, just cause I gotta keep my hours, but I went and took out all the trash in the courtroom of the courthouse, the annex and things, worked a couple hours there, and then went to the Piedmont City Council on the 6th. Went to New Creek Fire Department meeting on the 6th, which they're gonna did they turn in their ambulance stuff? No, New Creek. So they showed me theirs should be coming. And, the 7th, National Day of Prayer at the courthouse in the noon, and then in the evening, I went to the National Day of Prayer at Emmanuel Pentecostal Church. The 8th, went down to Winchester, meet with a group of teenagers that are looking to come up and just serve in the community. This summer. It may, then the 12th was the primary. I worked all day for the primary
And at night.
and at night, so.
Okay.
Oh, and then yesterday I took out, went around and took all the trash again yesterday.
Good. You got the legislative dinner, who's all?
Yes, all of you.
Okay, and I had the ethics training on the 30th. I did attend that. I was at the Region 8 SEDS meeting also. I was at the testing and I was at the, meet the candidates. Was at the National Day of Prayer. Was in Region 8 Planning Development signing. I had to work there. I had a couple of them. And we worked on the election night. And there's something else, I can't remember what it was, I didn't write down about what it was. It will come later, I'm sure. The legislative dinner, some of the other stuff, like meet candidates, I was there as a candidate, really not as a commissioner. Even election day, I was there as a candidate, not a commissioner. There was a lot of stuff I went to as far as candidate related, but, see, I went and met with Mark Bucco at PVH. Bucco, is that right? Bucco, something like that, about some of their issues, mainly water issues at hospital and just discussing some of the improvements and stuff that they're making there. He wanted to meet with me and talk to me about that stuff. Spent a lot of time on phone calls about Morrow Line. With the public hearings coming up, there's getting to be a lot of conversation again, so that's getting fired up again. Not to mention the hours reading emails.
Which, after I send you, I'm deleting them out of my, if there's anything I gotta follow up on, let me know, but I'm forwarding it and my box is,
Is it all right if we delete them?
that's up to you.
It's, I tell you, right now, a lot of it is so-and-so filed for to be an intervener, so-and-so filed to be an intervener, so-and-so filed an official complaint, so-and-so. So it's a lot of, I don't wanna say it's useless information, but it's nice to know. I mean, the number of people that are wanting to be interveners and filing complaints about it, so there's really a lot of opposition on this, so.
Spent a couple hours reading through those things.
Yeah. Yeah, so,
What's that?
2 hours or something?
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's about all right.
Yeah, I've been addressed a little bit about that moral line too.
I was on myself.
Yeah, they go.
And I've been addressed about data centers, that's what I wanted to bring up, I never wrote that down.
Oh, yeah.
It's been,
So this is kind of related to, there was a lot of speculation that a data center was going in down Carpendale. CSX was going through and clear cutting all their property. They have a big chunk of property along Carpendale, along the river and the railroad tracks. They're clear cutting all that. And everybody thinks that it got started, that there's a data center going in there. And everybody I've talked to, from economic development to, people close to CSX, there is no plans of any data center going in there close to Carpendale, that I know of. And I've not been informed of anything, but,
Is the acreage even there?
I don't, it might be going on up the river and stuff. They might have enough acreage there, cause there is a pretty good chunk of land. But man, some of the logs I seen coming out down there, huge logs, and some of them look like walnut. So they grew up some really nice logs out background down there that they just clear cut. Of course, it looks a lot nicer now, but it's,
Graham track,
huh? What's that?
Graham track. Don't get started.
That's the worst, this is the worst county to do that in. Don't do it.
It's all being recorded again.
Don't do it. Oh, no.
What they need, what really needs to be done with some of that ground is a bridge needs to be put in over there of Maryland, and they need a road into Carpendale. Do you realize if, and I thought about that when we had that little earthquake, I've thought about this ever since. When our property here was shook, not a lot, but it was, you knew it when something was going on.
Foundation.
Yes, it did. And I thought if the side of that mountain would come down in a couple places and people would be hurting. Carpendale would be hurt. They need a way in there. And a way out. They need a road in there so bad, it's not funny. It's sad.
Whenever
Somebody feels,
you'd be using that old tone.
yeah.
Well, you can't get, well, I don't know if they would or not.
Yeah, an earthquake, I don't think I'm gonna crawl under that.
Yeah, we're already fall in.
It
Of course,
was nice.
nowadays, every time you feel a shake on the earth, you know it's an earthquake or build another bunker.
But,
Yeah.
the two gentlemen that worked on some of that is sad to say they're deceased now, but, they had businesses that wanted to come in there if they'd have put a road in. It would have more, or the bridge in rather, it would have more than paid for itself. Casey and Butch worked on that pretty hard,
I know Delegate Howells been trying to get something going.
but something needs to be done there to help, nothing else to help people, and it would help Mineral County, and it would help the state.
Yeah.
It's a no-win, I mean, no-lose situation.
It's a federal thing, I believe, because it goes across state line.
Yeah. And, Kevin,
I don't know. Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Are you scratching?
Yeah.
And that's. I think Kevin, Economic Development, he is working on trying to get some of that property, purchase some of that property from CSX. And that would have got the ball rolling, those stocks kind of fell through.
See, right now, I don't know how big a trucks is going through Ridgely, I do not know. But see, they got that, Kingsford warehouse back there. And they got, anytime a truck goes in and out of there, they go through Ridgely. And Ridgely's not the easiest place to go through.
No, but the worst part is they go through Ridgely and there's big signs, Kingsford, turn right here, Kingsford, and they keep going. And then they get back in the backside of Carpendale and there's no place for them to turn around.
Right.
And they run across people's yards and tearing stuff up, trying to get turned around back there. And it's,
You think you could help us get a road across there from Maryland? It's an easy place to put a road across. It really honestly is. A bridge rather than a road, a bridge.
y'all talk to your DOT people?
Could you?
No, y'all. Well, so, I mean, right, hey, well, put it this way,
It was talking about.
Congressman Moore right now, he's pushing, trying to get quarter H finished.
I know.
And I mean, over there, you start talking about any kind of improvements, you've got the folks that don't want quarter H done and, just no data centers. I mean, and it's a big group of folks in Turner County that don't want anything done.
Right.
So. Yeah. Plus Turner County 70% government controlled. So it limits lots of stuff.
That would help. That would really help if we could get a bridge across the river there. As soon as you come off of 68, it's right there. We've been, I don't think was you down there and looked at it? We was down there and looked at it.
The first thing we need to do is get to secure that ground from CSX. Cause that's where the bridge is gonna land, and when we got across CSX property, getting that ground secure from them, and they're very hard to talk with. Yeah.
We'll be lucky to get.
Kevin was close at one time and something muddled that up. Now it's not happening. We'll see. What industry's close to that would benefit, that's another thing, you know.
I don't remember.
Kingsford would be the one getting the
Right now, Kingsford be the one.
It'll
Charcoal.
warm it up though.
Yeah, how about rail? Is rail close?
Who?
Rail. They're close.
The railroad?
Yeah, it's a-
Oh, yeah.
That's a whole nother thing. If you plan an industrial park, I mean, from the get-go, instead of having to piece it together and condemn or whatever that other folks have had to do, that's always a good one too. Maybe that's what CSX is thinking.
I don't know.
If they put the spurs in there, they're the railway people. If they put the spurs in there and they own the land, they can put them anywhere they want.
Yeah,
And you just break it up in industrial parcels.
well, we'd be fine. We would need the property that the rail isn't on, and that would be fine. I know there was talk of businesses wanting to go into there because they would be right across the river from Maryland and being West Virginia, and it'd be good for Mineral County, it'd be good for Carbondale, it'd be good for West Virginia all around.
That's one thing we're seeing, business friendly, going from blue to red.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
people have been talking about Virginia wanting to, well, they did last time wanting to be annexed by West Virginia, and the big joke that I heard was, "No, we can't wait to get some West Virginia crab cakes." You know, so.
actually, I ran into Senator McKay from Maryland. Ran into him last night, and we was joking about that, not joking, but we was talking about Garrett and Allegheny, Washington, coming to West Virginia, that kind of thing. So,
Hey, I mean, we're seeing moving with your feet already.
yeah.
I mean, California, New York, all kind of stuff. So,
Make a motion, go into executive session for personal, personnel issue, personnel. I'll second that.
Have that with Bill and Joel and Candace each have something, right?
Oh,
So what order do you
Okay.
think? Yeah.
So I have one that's just specifically that I'm gonna talk about. Then we have.
Do you wanna come first? Cause
Well,
you were in the back of the office.
She, it's up to me, and I can wait.
Depends on, yeah, it depends on how long these take, so maybe. If she's okay, maybe him first.
So Jason, you made the motion, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay, here, take it back with you. There you go. Most of it on my top. Or listening, I should. Okay. It was there while you're listening.
yeah. Good to see y'all. If you stay out of trouble, you should be helpful.
I'll make a motion, we come out of executive session.
Second it. Pretty good. All right, let's see, we're not gonna deal with the sheriff's department now, right?
No,
Okay, let's get down to the maintenance.
I'll make a motion, we approve the hiring of Mike Smith and for maintenance. I second that.
Okay.
And I'll make a motion, we approve the accounts payable.
Second that.
Huh?
I did have some more that, I'm sorry. This one, and there's a handful of Jordan by there, so, but I'll go ahead and take that. Ready?
I don't think I looked at the states and the.
No, we
Yeah,
haven't
we
done
haven't done that.
already.
Okay. There's. There's a state. I'm looking. What is this? Oh, this is.
That's the EMS equipment. This one you missed, signing off on that one.
Okay.
And you sent this information about Comax.
Yeah,
Are they going out of business or just?
sounds like I thought they were filing for bankruptcy, but I'm not sure if they're gonna go like, get acquired by somebody else,
Well,
so.
I'm concerned because Content Central is through Comax.
Oh, is it?
And all of those file cabinets documentations were destroyed and they were scanned into that. And we need to make.
Cause I haven't
sure-
been destroying them, I've been keeping the copies, but you said those are gone?
Oh, there was, how many file cabinets of stuff that was shredded? Probably at least 10 to 12 file cabinets just shredded trash. Some
Okay.
of it was scanned, some of it wasn't, but what was scanned is in Content Central. We cannot lose that information. So I was concerned when I saw that about that, because they contain all of our information, and I'm not sure if it can be saved to a,
I'll log in.
or a backup on that. Is there any way that it can be saved to a flash drive as a secondary? And then if we don't have that, is there a way that those documents are readable if they're put onto a flash drive as a backup security? Because any data like that should have a backup.
Yeah, here we go.
We need to, home confinement, do we need to move, put that on the next agenda? Do we need that?
Yeah, probably should.
Put that on the next agenda. And we'll have to see what we have maintenance wise to help move, paint, do all that other stuff. Not saying it has to happen right away, just.
Wait, move in from where? I'm asking about content, so it's sorry, second.
When we do that, if we approve that move,
Oh,
then we'll need maintenance guys to help them.
And I wanna add to, when I was discussing the elections, that, I was able to get the 22 of the 24 precincts on Tuesday. I didn't make it up on the, Elkhart or Piedmont, because there were some things I had to get back to the office and have done. I ran out of time. Probably with the voter turnout that we had in the primary, considering just doing early voting in the clerk's office for the general. Instead of having the staff and everything over, especially if maybe we'll be using it for anything with the hearings at that point too. So I think, you know, with the vault space that I have and the number of voters that we had come in, I think that'll work in the general. I think, I know election night was a little different in the office. It was a lot convenient for us with the copier there to be able to run the things, just sit there at the copier. And we had a lot of extra chairs that we tried to make sure that we had plenty. That's stolen from a couple other offices. But yeah, we'll probably do that, early voting in the clerk's office for the general election. And then hopefully by the next presidential election, we'll have something worked out for, if nothing else, I'll save the courtroom during that period to use the courtroom for early voting in the presidential election.
Yeah.
Just figuring out what we can and cannot do, what works and what doesn't work, so. But we had only 527 people came up to early vote.
Pretty poor turnout.
Yeah. And the general's gonna be less because it's a lot less on the ballot. Board of Education's not gonna be on there, the Supreme Court judges aren't gonna be on there, the county executive committees aren't gonna be on there. So it's just gonna be a one-sided ballot.
What's the Board of Education, July 1?
July 1, yes.
Well, somebody asked me the other day, I told them what it was.
I think it's savings.
And of course, Monday at 9 o'clock in my office, start the canvas.
Oh, yes, 9 o'clock. Believe it or not, this has not been our longest.
Already put
Trying to
it,
get those hours in now.
would have been for executive
we should just
session.
go 20 hours and get it for the week.
I think the longest.
I've already
we
pulled
went
those
was-
hours this weekend per day.
I think the longest we went, 4:30 is when I got out of here, I think one time.
During budget time, we're all day for budget.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can open those documents on Content Central and save them somewhere else. So, and then we can open them
Bill.
somewhere else, so we'll get some drives in.
I would.
I didn't know it's like the whole
All night.
thing.
Oh, I don't think so, I don't think it's set up that way. We can try.
Well,
I'll
maybe
get
they'll
with
be
you.
even, maybe they would work with you as to give you what do they call it, an ASCII file, isn't it?
I think they'll get acquired by someone else. Honestly, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But what other companies have done in the past, so the company I worked for, we switched from Chronos to like a Chronos type thing to iSolve. And what they did is they kept it open for a window to transfer all the information, like the pay and all that, and the time. They leave it open for like maybe a window usually, so they give you time, if that's what's happening, they'll give you time.
I was just concerned with that because I was very concerned with the fact that all
Yeah, I
the
didn't-
documents were destroyed. So,
I didn't realize they were connected. Well, the company I worked for, we digitized everything to have everything like in their personnel file, a digital file. And then we downloaded them into our human resources information system, but we also kept the like originals. And a company called Iron Mountain stored them.
Yeah.
That's what we did.
Yeah.
So
You need a,
I've never truly just trashed them and not had the original. I've never done that. I'm afraid. So we have
We've lost a lot of history in the last 2 years.
yeah.
A lot of it.
Well, that's why I haven't done anything with those boxes in my office, because I don't know. Those are kind of like things I have to go through, and maybe we find a place to store them, but I don't necessarily want to throw them away.
I guess initial plan.
Yeah, because those aren't jacketed. Jordan just brought those bills, so if you just, your initials at the bottom be like initial in the jacket.
Yeah.
Depending on how many boxes you have, if you even need to store some of those records in my high density vault.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what they are. I really gotta look at them. I'm not focused on anything other than just all the other stuff.
I know we're going day by day, trust me.
I wanna get past that. I don't want a day by day anymore. I wanna get to that point where I'm actually looking ahead at things.
They found some stuff cleaning out Charlie's office up there. Yeah, like a plaque, thing, an old plaque, I can't remember. I think she showed it to you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't know where to put that stuff as far as history.
Charlie's office, with the dark walls, looks fantastic.
She
All
does.
that carpeting, it actually looks great.
There's actually, it reminds me, I still have records downstairs in the furnace room storage. And there's some old pictures and plaques down there and that one cabinet still is mine, I have to bring up too. But I was hoping to do that as a summer project. I'll be moving some of it to my shed and then repackaging it, cause last time I got down there in that storage room, I had such a sinus infection from all that stuff. Yeah, I did have a mask on and I should have. I mean, it was stuff that probably hadn't been moved for 7,500 years. And, me and Tim was down in there, we were pulling all those records out. We pulled all the wills and the birth certificates and we put them all in archival boxes. And that's what's in the high density vault now, everything's in archival boxes, so there's still a lot of plaques down in there, I think there's still some vitals down in there too, so. Do not let anybody clean out that room with all my stuff, yes.
I don't really have the manpower to have anybody pull anything out.
But we had somebody a couple of years ago that lost some stuff, they didn't know what it was, and they were.
Yeah, I don't throw anything away with it.
The campus that I worked at in Texas, 1972 at all. I kept all the records in that office, the board resolution and everything. So, hired a new assistant and I was gone 2 weeks. I came back, she said, you'll be so proud of me. I cleaned the office, went through everything and she threw away all the resolutions and everything. It took me 5 years. I did not. Took me 5 years to rebuild them, like calling old board director. You have a
Oh, that's
copy,
terrible.
You have a copy, just over time, then rebuild.
Did she cry?
She was upset with herself royally, but I appreciated the initiative. So,
I think you're crying all this stuff like.
this stuff that I hadn't even looked at or.
I have to stand. I've been doing,
Signature.
military, whatever it's called, calisthenics,
Oh, yeah.
like workouts and drills.
Proclamation for men's health.
Well, let us know when you get that, other proclamation from Frankfurt turn out.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for that. Actually, I'm gonna go walk around and see if I can find that paper. Thought I saw it somewhere. It's like a certificate. We have some.
Yeah, that goes with those.
Say, I might have some. Yeah.
Have like a little dark blue folder.
Yeah.
Some of the folders, the Frankfurt folders are too,
Yeah.
there's some over there too.
Oh, they still in here? I thought they disappeared.
No, the ones with the Frankfurt already printed are here, the blank ones are over there.
That didn't work out at all.
That's what. When I was working polls, the parents over there said, as soon as the football game was over, they could not get a dinner or anything worked out for those kids to celebrate.
I like how Frankfurt had all the banners on the ceiling in
Yes,
the
that was nice.
cafeteria. That was really nice.
Yes. We have some of these balloons.
That's what I'm looking for. Good about alignments.
Oh, these ones are, these are the Frankfurt.
2024.
Those are
Yeah.
printed ones? Are these printed too?
No,
If they're all Frankfurt.
there we go.
We'll get steel one.
Well, these are printed too. Why are some of here and some over there? Yeah, this is Frankfurt too.
But you're looking for something like that kind of paper.
Oh. So these are all the same, they're not the Cindy Free layer.
Yeah, they're all the same.
We should just go ahead and take them and give it to the principal and let the school give them out. The parents were telling me after the end of this state title game, they couldn't work out a dinner or anything because they all couldn't get everybody back together.
Yeah.
All the
We could
different
get a
sports.
list, if they could send it to us, we could mail merge it and send them all out.
Okay, well, that's.
I got some 10 by 13 envelopes.
All right, got everything?
Yeah, I think.
We already have accounts payable, right?
Yeah.
I had a motion for accounts payable.
Okay.
I'll second.
Make a motion to approve the exonerations.
Second.
And I make a motion to approve the estates.
Second that this.
I agree with all of those.
We need one more very important motion.
I make the motion that we adjourn.
That's it.
I'll second that one.
All 3 sides.